My goodness me, do I have the liveness? That's an interesting noise to start the stream with. I think, to be brutally honest, I actually still have a cup of tea to be consuming, but nevertheless, I suppose I can be getting stuff set up. Blackquill is here already, featuring Jonathan Ross. But yes, good evening, people and people and people and bees and bees and bees. People still on the Discord server talking about the Germany song Czechoslovakia, cause we are the Aqua Teens, make the homies say ho and the girlies want to scream. Anyway, that was a moment what I done just diddly do muck have in a house with entirely too many H's. So, he says, slapping his own chest. Ah. Funny fact. Not even fun fact, but funny fact. I actually managed to cut my tongue earlier while I was shaving. You heard that correctly. Also, I damaged my elbow on the corner of a wall. So today has just been a painful day in general, so... Oh, there's tea? Ah, still hot. I'll come back to that tea forthwith. So how's everyone doing this evening anyway, just while I'm setting up the stram snattery dang? Now, in this particular installment of the, I'd forgotten that actually the game file itself is saved as stram snattery dang. I'd forgotten about that. Anyway, in this particular arcade, well, people may or may not be joining the call. That is entirely up to them. Now, are we going to have a successful time? Are we going to have a successful time? Tracker, please. Tracker, please. Tracker, please. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so, I distinctly recall, because I rewatched it like yesterday, that I ended the last stream on this particular text box because on this cycle, what I'm going to want to do is acquire 50 monies. Hello, by the way. And then...
milk the invisible sky cow!
And then milk the invisible sky cow. Wait, that sounded patronizing. That wasn't meant to be patronizing. So, first of all, I need money. Well, just like in the real world.
Don't we all?
Yes, salad bees on a banana. Bees on a banana, mind you. You know that moment when there's bees on a banana?
On a banana.
Oh my god, we are so in sync.
No, right?
It's like we're the same person. Also, what the flarf am I doing? There's money over... There's exactly the money I require in a tree over hither. Wrapped up in a man. In a tree. Full of money. Man. Spoon. Spoon. Spoon!
All I understood from that was there's a man in a tree who has your money, but he's wrapped himself up in the money because he's in a tree. I don't...
That is accurate.
Yay! all I know, loving you is a losing game. Because apparently that's a misheard lyric.
That
because
moment.
Duncan Lawrence is a losing gay. Confirmed.
But if he's a losing gay, then he's both gay and not winning. But the fandom will want it both ways. Pun intended?
Can confirm I have read somewhere that he is bisexual and has a boyfriend.
Good for him.
Yay!
I'm glad he's comfortable in himself.
Yes, live your best life.
Yeah! Also, I love how, with the most recent chunk of my top 41, like in the bottom 11, it was like, ooh, whose Tess's bottoms is going to be? And now, the theme of part 2 isn't, oh, who's Tess's winner? It's, where the fuck has he put Portugal?
Exactly, because, like, I had somebody comment on my section of the second bit of your top 41
saying, "Oh, you better not put
45.
Iceland last." I saw that.
No. Spoiler alert, it's not.
Yay!
Iceland. It's not Iceland. Do you want the bad news? It's Portugal!
Congratulations, you have an opinion. Also, that sign so says poop. It's not the bomb shop, it's the poop. Niels is here, hello.
Congratulations, I have an opinion, and that opinion is apparently wrong. Because hashtag Lisbon 2020.
Also, Indigo is also here, and to you I say hello also, because Indigo's Let's Playing for Dog Island, and I didn't, well, I'd heard the name, but I knew nothing about it, and I'm intrigued, so I will continue to view that.
Dog Island?
I recommend other people partake also.
Oh, I have that game, I remember playing that!
I know nothing about it, it reminds me of, like, the sort of writing stuff that I used to do back when I was a young warthog and I first met Joth and Alex. We wrote things, and that just reminds me of that sort of writing. And I mean that in a I remember it sort of way, not in a poopy poo-poo way. You know, a poopy poo-poo way?
I feel that. But I remember the Dog Island. I still have that game. Like, my sister was heavily into it when I still lived at home, but then since I got married and since my sister bought herself a Nintendo Switch, she just gave me and Phil like a bunch of Wii games, and she's just like, right, whatever you don't keep, I'm going to give away. So I was just like, I'm just gonna keep the Dog Island.
But I like free stuff. Clearly, we're friends, so give all your shit to me. I'm being facetious in case you can't tell.
I could tell.
Okay. And oh my god, someone else who refers to Breezegale as Breezegale. So many people are just like, oh, it's the bit from the first game. Like, no, it has a name, it's right there in the vision. Ah.
I just had a thought. What if Portugal is your winner? Dun dun dun!
Judas!
I mean, I wouldn't hate you for it. I mean, good for you for seeing something in it that I really, really can't, but...
That's how supportive we are over here. And y'all don't even know what my opinion even really is to the really... Puppies on a...
To the...
Papa.
Because, trust me, my opinion on the Portuguese song is very strong. Because it just fills me with so much hatred.
Such despair!
Despair!
As opposed to that bear over there. There's a bee! Where is the final poop? I've lost the poop. I found the poop. Because, like, the record is 1 minute, but you can do it in 2, that's fine. So, what's the prize going to be? We need the ice arrows, and there's a lot of things this could be.
The prize is that giant chair from the Danish national final.
You know, it's as we established. Sweden might have IKEA. 1 rupee! That's it. Wind Village, that's, yes, that became the common. I forgot what I was saying. Oh yes, so Sweden
have IKEA?
Sweden has IKEA, but Denmark conglomerated all of their pawns into a mega chessatron, and now they have a chair. Okay, so, on this particular run... Oh, it's Milky Girl! She's milking the visible land cow! Honk honk.
You know, traffic jam, beep beep.
Beep beep.
I can't even remember what lyric that was.
My mind feels like a pot of jam.
A pot of jam? What flavour jam?
Bee. Wait, bee jam is just honey. Or royal jelly if you prefer. Burt's Bees. It was in the most recent episode of my Eurovision Top 41 countdown. I did this weird hand motion whilst talking about a song, and I just sort of carried on. I'm just like, yeah, milk the invisible sky cow. So now we have a visible land cow. It's sort of like with Garompa, with Milky Sea puddings, and then Milky land puddings. And then there's
Wait,
just
wasn't
gone to daddy with the Rayquazapine. That was Heather's fault.
Oh, wasn't there Milky Sky puddings?
Well, that's just Gonta and his tree trunk dick, to quote Himiko. Apoda, where are you squitching from? Where is my horse? Why are you on the wrong side of the fence? Apoda, you...
Horse.
Running through the fields. Where are you going with your fetlocks blowing in the wind? I want to shower you with sugar lumps and ride you over fences. Brush your mane every single day and take you to the horse dentist. Bitch!
Would probably do better than bigger than us, TBH.
I mean, Elliot did point out on the Twitter that, like, if Michael Rice, I had rice for dinner again tonight, by the way, like, same meal as what I had last time I streamed, weirdly enough, but yes, if Michael Rice does really well with the juries, then we'll have to wait all night just to hear, UK, televote points, B. We get B points.
B? Like, is B even a number?
It is now.
Yay.
See, I haven't played Twilight Princess in ages, and, like, I had the GameCube version with an F, by the way, and then played it to, like, 99% completion, and then my dumbass child self, like, sold it to a game place because I knew it was rare-ish and wanted the money, and nobody talked me out of it, and it's everyone's fault apart from my own. And at some point during my high school years, when I was going to school with people who literally were just terrible at existing, one of them had the Wii version, and he just sort of gave it to me, and I'm like, yeah, sure, okay. And I haven't played it. And if I ever see the HD remake for the Wii U in, like, TessHex or something, if it's for a reasonable price, then I'll grab it. But it probably won't be. Honestly, it will be fascinating just to see what people come up with just based on the stipulations of the robot. Now this is gonna be a weird... Laura, are you dead?
I love those images that you sent in the Discord chat with the stands and the flags and the dead.
Yeah, over on the TessHex Discord server, I made like an infographic to indicate which ones are still alive according to my top 4, like who's in the top 20 of my top 41, and then just in reference to a certain chapter of the third game. Ukraine is also there, but with an orange question mark.
Ah. It took me a while to realize the skull and crossbones. The cross and skull bones. Well done, Laura.
You did it.
The skull and crossbones for France, but I was just like, what other image was even to use, like a crown?
I was going for like French Revolution / indirect reference to the fact that he's received death threats, but like that particular one is the reason why I don't intend to publish that picture like publicly, because like people might think, oh, he's sculling the France, that's racist or something, you know.
And kind of insensitive, considering France is in the news at the moment because the Notre Dame caught fire.
Oh yeah. And of course, as Tumblr pointed out, it's only a matter of time until like some like rap track features the line, "It's lit like Notre Dame."
I literally had somebody at work ask me where the Hunchback was going to live now whilst talking about the Notre Dame fire thingy, and I'm just sort of like...
He's been dead for days!
I'm just like, that's a Disney movie. It's a cartoon.
As opposed to Khartoum, which is a city. I don't remember where.
Grandpapa is an old
soon.
Peter and the Wolf, narrated by Sergei Lazarev.
Because why the flarf not?
I mean, there's a clip in his music video for Scream where there's a little boy running away from wolves, so
That's
why
wolf
not?
racist. But also, there is nothing wrong with being obsessed with dogs. I'm not a dog person myself, but I did see a fox today, which was nice.
Ooh,
It was fresh. A fresh fox.
what's fresh about a potato?
I don't remember the context. Wait, was that word spud that happened in?
No, it was Loot Party U. You streamed it with your parents like a couple of years ago.
That makes sense too.
And you were drawing a potato. And I think... And I remember you writing ooh fresh and then your father was just like, what's ooh fresh about a potato? I don't know why I'm making your dad sound Irish, but...
We have nothing to do with Ireland. He's half Scottish and I'm a quarter as a result. Why is this grave full of hearts?
I thought you was going to say I'm a quarter Azerbaijan.
I'm a quartato. 1/4 of a potato. Alright. Hello Bill, hello Heartbeat, hello everybody.
Hi, Dr. Tess.
Hey. I would also have accepted hi, Mr. Chazakov.
Oh, from Night in the Woods.
Not just words, but words. For some reason, whenever I reference it to my mother, I can't not say it normally. Wait, no. I can't say it normally. I have to say night in the woods. I'm not sure why. I don't even know what accent that even is.
Is that why you've stopped doing commentary in your Night in the Woods series and just read out like the text bubble?
Oh no, it just seemed poignant. But I have actually got the next episode ready for upload, and that's like half no commentary and then half commentated, and then there should be, I think, maybe 2-3 more episodes after that. And I watched the newest part of Lukagin's thing just before this stream started, and just her reaction to Chapter 5 is just it's excellent.
Chapter 5 of Night in the Woods or Danganronpa or
Danganronpa
what?
2.
Ah. Am I just really behind on Chapter 6 on Chaos Potenti Rest? Quite possibly.
Well, we're not. Like, I've sort of been like. That's not what I meant to do. But I've just been sort of really slow about like putting bits and pieces available. Because I've sort of been waiting for people to like react and digest as they see fit. But for everyone else who's got no context, we've got Laura, Joth, and Alex all playtesting. They're on Chapter 6 of Chaos Potenti Est at the moment, and I am pleased with how it's progressing so far. I'm fine.
Yes. I was just wondering how far behind I was on it, but because I thought I was a lot further behind than I thought I was, but I'm all good. I'm all up.
I thought you were going to say I'm on crack. I mean, the story's on crack, to be fair. Like, if you've seen The Room with the Animal Crossing chair, then you're up to date.
Yes.
Okay, you're up to date. That's going to mean nothing, and that's deliberately why I worded it like that.
Wait, the Animal Crossing chair. Does it reference a specific type of chair that's in Animal Crossing?
No, I mentioned in the thing, like, it kind of looks like a certain chair from Animal Crossing. Also, I forget when the alien invasion starts. Did I do a wrong? Oh, no, wait, no. Ah, here's the soup child. It is Tuesday, my dudes.
Tess is on a stream? On a Tuesday.
And there was no way to forget this day.
Thank you, Mr. Chazakov.
Bibbidi boop boop. Anyway, it's time for aliens. No, really, it's time for aliens. It's time for aliens from beyond the stars. Luckily, we have the map.
Yay!
There is a toilet in Banjo-Kazooie. This is accurate. His name is Logo. He's a fine boy. Just finishing this cup of tea and then we'll get to work. Banjo-Kazooie's good, as is Banjo-Tooie. It's a good sequel. Okay, so first of all, you over there need to die. Good.
Okay.
Not you. You're not an alien. Well, you are, but just not in this country. On this planet, in this part of the moon, localized entirely within your sandwich. Team stands.
But I live in the same country as you, Tess. It may not feel like it sometimes, but I do live in the same country as you.
Salad. That's all. But technically, that dog indicates which one the freshest alien is, and I think it's the one that's technically the closest to the barn, i.e. the children, because barn is Swedish for child. And for some reason, you can't sword them. Even with the best sword that isn't a C item, you still have to shoot, because this is America. Something steepy-doo. You know that song by the Prawn Man?
Well, those are two things that you don't want to do to children.
Shoot them into a shoot sandwiches at children.
Oh, shooting sandwiches?
At children.
Well,
out of like a sandwich gun that fires sandwiches.
Yeah. At least that'll solve, like, world hunger and stuff, but don't shoot children. And don't sword them either.
Don't send them to Christmas, the place. Christmas is forbidden in Tigerland.
Yeah. Wait, where's Tigerland? I'm just gonna
India, I
assume
guess?
that was... I was going to assume it was Canada because that's where Alex lives, and Alex is a tiger.
This is also a fair assumption.
Yes.
And is Star Fox or Star Fox? Well, I don't know, but I will defend Star Fox Adventures until my dying breath because it's not a bad game, it's just different. Stairfax temperatures. Also, that was a trick shot and a half, bearing in mind I'm playing on keyboard. Which just reminds me of that video from ages ago that might not even still be public, I'm not sure, where we would, like, it was you, me, and Joth, and we were doing, blank, marry, kill, where you can imagine what the blank is. And...
Kiss. It was Kiss, because we changed it to Kiss, because
not all of us are peak furry trash, but I am.
And you think I am? I mean...
Pingu.
One can dream. One can dream of being trash.
Live goals. But...
You know, yes, you're gonna like it.
Let's Blake the rules. Blake superior. But yeah, the thing is, one of them was Fox McCloud, Foxy from Five Nights at Freddy's, and Crazy Red from Animal Crossing. And I don't remember. That's all. I just don't remember.
I remember I said, I think I said Kiss Crazy Red because that would... Because, I don't know, marry Fox McCloud and then kill Foxy because... Crazy Red but demon,
See, this is... For the sake of clarity as well, like, obviously, we all know at this point that Foxy is technically possessed by the spirit of a small child, but we're going on the character of Foxy from the Fazbear canon within Five Nights at Freddy's, as opposed to the actual spirit possessing the animatronic. So, just to be clear, we're not condoning children. Children are forbidden, we don't like them, you need to be alive for 18 years, and if you do that not enoughly, then you need to die on the couch.
What?
Go onto the sofa, change the colour of your shirt. How could that possibly be misconstrued? And technically, we can have, like, time at normal speed. I don't say speed at normal time. And, like, they would go faster, but it would be over sooner, but, yeah. I'm being precision. And I guess Tarukis and Kitsunes are sort of paired up because they're both mythological creatures based on adorable animal friends. Though, I mean, Curse Potenti Est has a raccoon and a fox, but they're sort of not really affiliated at all.
Does Tess have a Nintendo Switch?
Tess does not. I'd semi-like one, because despite what I said about Yoshi's Island in the Top 10 Overrated Games video, I do think that Yoshi's Crafted World does look like a ton of fun. Like, it looks like the best of Woolly World made even better, so I'm down for that, but I don't have a Switch. So...
Neither do I.
See, Sis said she'd buy me one, and still hasn't. God damn it, Elon. Elon Musk.
I don't have a Switch either. I want to get one, but then my sister's just like, don't you think getting a Switch just to play Animal Crossing would be an entire waste of money?
No.
No, because playing on your Switch, I found other games that I would like for the Switch. And Night in the Woods is on the Switch, and I've been watching Tess play that. So I've actually convinced her to look on the Nintendo eShop and get Night in the Woods.
Yeah. Also, this cycle is still going nowhere very quickly. Wait, poo! I just remembered something I can only do on day one. There's only what? There's something. I don't think I'll be able to make it. So, I've seen like 2 people attempt to Let's Play Star Allies, and I think they both gave up. So, I don't know. Like, despite my coverage of Epic Yarn, not really a Kirby boy, B-O-I. But I know some people who am. So there's that. Crunchy beef, the portable tube of corn propels and repels for ease of use.
Woo.
Ooh woo. Ooh to the woo to the woo woo woo. My name is Ooh. My sign is Ooh. My number is Woo. And I am also in remembery of the great mighty Pooh and other things from Conker's Bad Fur Day. Yeah, Star Allies kind of looked dull, to be completely Ernesto McGee. Okay, good, the screen wipe hasn't gone all poopy yet. I remember if that happens at 2:30 or 2:45, but either way, we have a handful of hours to get the beep bop to the bap 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 bap. Why?
Because she's only a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend. She's never home, but she plays in the band. I am losing the plot.
I can't see the man. I found the door twice.
I can't see the man, and I felt the door twice. Almost as nonsensical as Sergei Lazarev's lyrics. Yeah. Okay, well.
I can't see what I'm doing. Well, this was a disaster.
Hello.
Hello. So basically, that was a waste of a fart.
Woohoo.
Yeah, there are many games. That is all. That really is all. I have nothing else to add. Yeah, no, I am the Temple of Cheese.
Hey, Tess.
Oh, hello, the other one is also here. Good evening. Hello, friend.
The other one.
How are you, Tess?
I'm alive, like Albania 2015.
Are you looking forward to the Eurovision weekend?
Yeehaw! You know, yeehaw.
You know, yeehaw. But the cowboy was last year's cheese.
Pimple.
You know, the cowboy people. You know, the cowboy people
I
with their
know.
crunking.
Ah, yes. It's Laura's husband because she's so married. How many games do we think there are? God, there's got to be at least 2. There might be 5. Want to go out on a limb and say there's at least 5. Hey, angry guys, I'm wearing a face that cries. You can't touch my noodles. And by noodles, I mean milk. This is leisurely. They're supposed to be attacking me, but if you wear the circus leader's mask, they won't. So, this is entirely pointless. Oh, I squeaked.
You know, because Tess is the greatest showman.
She's so married! So married! But yes.
So married. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Who's married?
Oh.
Me.
The Chateau Romani is Chateau Romani. Well, I mean, that's not where this usually is, but still, this is... So, we have all the bottles that we can get.
Do you know one thing that I really don't understand about some people in the Eurovision fandom?
Bees.
Why do they make such a big deal about the singers and their sexuality? Like, you're not going to bang them, so what's the point?
I think, like, there are some who are, like, really, I guess, either insecure or, like... There's a generation of people who, like, for them, one way or the other, one's identity is this massive, scandalous thing. And some of them don't grow out of that. There are some people who still view their own identity as this massive, cheeky, scandalous novelty. And everyone's like, we don't care. We live in a society where, you know, you can be straight or gay or, you know, you can identify however best suits you. And it's not a scandal, but people still act like it is. And I say this as someone who is of quite deliberately an ambiguous identity. You know, I don't get why some people make such a big deal out of it when... What's the... like, obviously, pride is a good and important thing. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, like... Like, you know what I mean? I feel like I'm wording it badly because I'm playing game.
Yeah, that's... I understand what you mean. It's like, I'm bisexual, but I don't sort of, like, make a huge song and dance about it because I don't see it as that massive of a deal.
Yeah. Whereas there are some
But
people who,
there are
like,
some-
let it completely define them as, like, a... And, like, I think it's true of the Eurovision fandom as well. Like, people... Like, there are some people who... And I feel like it kind of gives Eurovision fans a bad name where if you... at least in this country, if you say, oh yeah, I like Eurovision, the default assumption is that that is your one defining character trait and there's nothing else about you. It's just Eurovision this. Like, no, I have other interests, as my Patreon account, like, proves. And... there are some, like, that kind of defines people's preconceived ideas of people like me. Like, you know, when I was in university and I happened to mention, oh yeah, I'm kind of the Eurovision guy, the go-to assumption was that was my one thing. Like, I'm this one-trick pony that can only do that. And there are some Eurovision fans that are like that. You feel?
I feel.
And so there are some people who are just so one-track minded with the whole idea of identity that they let it completely take over. Like, that they're too busy being themselves to actually be themselves, you know?
Yeah.
But I might be all wrong. Huh?
A storm like this can break a man like me. I just changed the second like this to like me because I feel like it makes more sense in my...
A storm like this can
Because-
break a man like sis.
Specifically, serious.
Sis. Or sauce. Wow.
you know, sister.
Ooh,
You know,
ooh, sister.
you know, the love song between Correcchio and James Charles, because that's something we all needed.
Anyway, the music in this randomizer, it's got the music from Majora's Mask, as well as Ocarina of Time, Lilac Wars, I think Breath of the Wild. There might be a couple of others in there as well. And it could be that the randomizer has been updated since then, but I don't know how. I don't know how.
What exactly was this Germany song check thing that was going on before you streamed?
There was Germans who were listening to songs and ranking them, or analysing something. I haven't been watching those, but I know it's a thing. Like, on the German... On German TV, they, like, I don't know if it's every year, but they go through all the songs, and they're like, hey, hey, poo-poo, dee-bee, doot-doo, and then they analyse the songs, and that's the magic spell that lets you analyse songs. And honestly, that wouldn't surprise me, because Ocarina of Time definitely has a different sound font from Majora's Mask, because it's really difficult to transpose sound fonts between two different... Like, there are some songs in here that, like, I know the Forest Temple theme, for instance, is in this randomizer, but it's on a different set of sounds because it's, like, you can't just retool instruments between games if it has a different sound font. And hello to you, Fox Tabula Sphinxy! Oh, there's trees! I'm trying to pause for dramatic effect, but not pause.
Eat.
Eat a bee. Don't eat a bee. Hey! Oh! Oh! Thank you for the subscription, but also, oh! Oh! What do I do now?
Tess will eat an egg. Remember that time when we just bought eggs because you made muffins?
I do. Correcchio. What? Well, that is so true, and you just know they'd do it over here as well. Like, if we had a song check, they would poo the song check. They would poo the song check, mind you.
Well, depends on who they get to actually do it. Like, if it was actually some, like, I know this is probably going to be a rare breed of person to find in the United Kingdom, but, like, a professional that knows the music industry, but who's also, like, somewhat of a Eurovision fan.
And also, no one's surprised to hear that Niels does not like eggs. But yes, you were saying words about... Also, I've forgotten this chest 2 streams on the bounce, and this is literally the only thing I can think of that I've not checked. So, I swear to fuck, this has to be the ice arrows, because there's nothing. There is no other things. Anyway, continue. I am Jimbus. I invented the Krieg.
But yes, so basically, what you would need, who you'd need to have reviewing like these songs if the UK were to do a song check, would be somebody who's like a professional in the music industry, but who at the same time is also kind of a fan of the song contest, so that they know what people who regularly watch the song contest would want to hear, but at the same time they would also know what the average consumer of the general public would want to hear as well.
Yeah. Also, I'm totally brain farting. I can't think of anything else I could do in the game.
Which reminds me of a way that the UK national selection thingy can be improved.
At this point, basically not having one would be an improvement. but continue.
Oh, thanks. You just shit on my idea before I even present it.
Also, at least one of our accents is approved of, so yum. Continue.
Wait, whose accent?
One of us, I don't know. One of us at least.
Probably you, because...
It could be both of us. We both talk fairly cleanly.
But yes, You know how the X Factor and like Britain's Got Talent do like shows in like different cities to sort like audition. They hold auditions in like different cities to get like a wide range of talent so that it's fairly representative of the whole of Britain. Why don't the UK? You don't have to televise these live auditions, mind, but it would be possibly a bit better if you did. But having shows like that, so then you'd have like a few people from each of the various audition shows in a national final, so then it's fairly representative of the United Kingdom as opposed to just, there's 6 of them and they're all English, so... Actually, have we ever had a Scottish person in one of the UK national finals? Because I know that Joe from Joe and Jake was Welsh, but I think
was
that's
Lucy, I think.
Lucy was Welsh?
Yeah, but she had some kind of Welsh going on, didn't she? Little bit Welsh, little bit of a Welshy friend, Welshy friend, a friend of the Welsh variety, a Welsh Dargan.
Maybe, but have we ever had a Scottish person in the national final?
I mean, we've had a Scottish person represent us at the contest, but not in the national final as far as I know. Unless Duncan Bannatyne himself descended from the heavens and made a sandwich.
Yes.
Many penises are being sucked at the moment. Just across the world. 14 people in Paris are climaxing at this moment. That's
15.
Oh.
It was 15, because I remember telling you this, because I remember watching this really weird film in a French class at high school.
Are we thinking of the same film?
Possibly, because all I remember from it is, like, this French guy, like, obviously saying it in French, but, like, she stares across the Seine and wonders how many people in the city of Paris are having an orgasm right this moment. And then she just looks...
We're thinking of the same film, and I cannot remember what the title of it is, because, like, the English title is just Amélie, but I know it's like, it's like the something fabuleux d'Amélie Poulain, or something like that.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm in two minds about whether I want it on DVD or not, because I feel like kind of Stockholm Syndrome to that film, because we had to do French cinema as part of university.
All I remember from it is, like, that sentence, and then just, like...
She looks
like,
to the camera, and she's like...
Having orgasms, and then she's just like... She's like, cans. Like, what? Like, that's a normal reaction to have.
You know, when 15 people are climbing... I just realised the brilliance of that line. Like, if it really is 15 people, is it 15 couples? Or is there, like, 7 couples and one person who's just...
masturbating.
Oh, Laura, you went and said it. She just came right out and said it. You know, because I'm clearly in a position to be doing impressions of Sheikah the deer. But Mitsunari Koga is best boy, and I will fight people.
Please don't fight people. I kind of want people to live.
Funnily enough, we're being worldly by talking about world-ass cinema. But yes, so orgasms, basically.
That is literally the only thing I remember from it. And I remember watching this in a high school French lesson.
France do be like that. France-turbation. France-turbation Clinic. That's the real name for a French club.
Is it just me, or has Bilal, like, improved his wig game? Because his blonde wig has just, like, gotten longer.
No. Maybe it grew naturally. Like he takes it off, puts it in, like, a pot of soil and waters it, and then the next day, it's a bit longer.
And wavier? Really, Tess?
Maybe.
How do you explain the waves in the hair?
Magic.
Magic.
I vaguely referenced.
Yes.
Well, I'm hoping we're adequately pleasing people. Because I feel like if Indigo is still here, she'll be like, okay, that's it, I'm out. And you know what? I don't blame you. I am awful.
I am sorry.
It's okay, we were talking about stuff. Anyway, in case you couldn't tell, I thought of something that I could do, and if this isn't the ice arrows, then we're definitely going to need to... Hanky Pinky Friday! It's Tuesday. Oh. Now this would be fun to do in real life, except very impractical because bombs?
What is this?
Bombs?
Bath bombs?
Basket
Yeah.
bombs. Money.
Would you like to sing in English or French?
Yes.
Yes! I can't remember how you did it in French, but all I just remember is you just going, "Ouais."
Ouais. And I managed to fit that into you Tessellated into the wrong hexagon as well. We had to cut out the English
Yes.
part, but still. I know I missed one. I'm go and eat if you need to eat, but also I'm playing on keyboard, so I'm gonna spank a pancreas.
Part of me feels like you should recreate the you tessellated into the wrong hexagon video now that you've done all 41 reviews, but I feel like it's as good as is, so...
Yeah, it'd be good to have like a more varied version with more clips, but like I wouldn't want to toot my own hexagon too much, you know? Well, that was a complete miss. As opposed to a partial mister.
3 to the 1 to the 1 to the 3. This year's candidate is Bilal Hassani, S Club 7, pulling on hard times. It's so pointy! It's a fun time. 3 to the 1 to the 1 to the 3. Let's get the important stuff out the way first, shall we? The Czech Republic have gone with Lake Malawi, and the title of the song is Zero Gravity.
I know some people are very loud about this. No, nothing personal, but I somewhat doubt it.
Doubt it. I can't remember the rest.
Neither can I, and I made the damn I said the damn thing. But yes, Eurovision is like a month away, and oh, bees!
I know! I look forward to draping myself in the Spanish flag.
I thought you were going to say you're looking forward to drinking.
Well, I mean, that too. I mean, drink every time Sweden gets 12.
And by the end of the night, we're all stone cold sober.
Ooh!
Throwing shade!
Okay, drink every time the Netherlands gets 12, because, like, seriously, that is such a big drop. Like, they were my winner last year. Fight me. Outlawing them is better than arcade.
I agree with this. Allow me to shoot a truth bullet, which allows me to agree with your statement.
Yes, because I can totally imagine Eurovision, like, as a Danganronpa thingy. Like, I'm just sort of arguing with, like, I don't know, wee blogs. And they're just like, I agree!
Or, like, woo-woo blogs. Yes, queen! No, that's wrong! This is fun to do on a keyboard.
Depends who they're saying yas queen to.
Yas, man, queen.
Because if it's Tamta, then no. If
Foot
it's
queen.
Sweden,
How about that?
foot queen.
You know, the foot queen. We've never met. Oh no, so much pressure from the bill. And
A lot of people are saying that Kobe kind of looks like Freddie Mercury.
I can see that.
Like, they're sort of like, oh, in these parody videos, they're just like, oh, he looks like Freddie Mercury and he's doing the thing from the Bohemian Rhapsody video, and I'm just like, no.
What's a rhapsody? A Bohemian Rab CD. It's a CD full of rabbis. It's the Rab CD. Bohemian Rabbi CD. There we go. There's so many targets. I can't do this on a Biwee-boo keyboard. That's the English word for keyboard. I swear, Biwee-boo. I did this on my practice one of the previous seed that I keep talking about in these streams. I've played with Seed before.
You'll whack this one.
Oh, what?
Another thing I don't get with Eurovision fans is, like, Eurovision 2019, my top 42, so they include Ukraine, with all of my national final winners.
What's
in
the
place
point?
of, like, what, why would it matter?
Yeah, sort of, like, I guess kind of like, I can't really say who cares, because that kind of makes me a hypocrite, because I'm making the, my top 41 countdown. But, like, I at least, my arm is so sore. But, like, obviously people care about my opinions, but at least, like, actually, like, explain them, I guess. But like, there are some people who are just like, oh, hey, I have the time and resources to put together a recap, so here's an arbitrary smattering of songs.
Yeah, I mean, some people do put with comments, but then they just sort of hide them in, like, the corner in, like, a really small text box, so you just have to sort of, like, pause every time just to read what they've said, but...
And, like, they're like, oh, this falls under fair use. It kinda doesn't. Like, you can do stuff that counts as fair use like this, but just putting comments on screen like that isn't enough.
But, yeah, the whole... my top with my national final winners, like, a lot of them just kind of look the same. Because a lot of them I've seen either...
I'm just taking a moment to rest my arm.
Sorry. Anyway. But yes, I've seen Yes Yes and or the Middletons for Hungary, Bella Santiago or Laura for Romania.
I didn't know you were Romanian.
I'm not. I wish I had a voice like that, though. Damn.
You have a good voice.
I have a voice. Thank you. But yeah, a lot of them are just really predictable. Like, it kind of gets boring.
This is gonna
And
be,
I mean, a lot-
speaking of boring, this is gonna be so fucking boring to watch, because, like, all I'm doing is failing repeatedly because I'm using a keyboard for something that's not designed for a keyboard.
I'm so sorry, I'm trying to be as entertaining as possible.
I appreciate this. I appreciate you. You exist. You're good.
And I mean, some of them don't even change anywhere, like, yeah, my favourites won in, like, Portugal and Iceland, so I'm not gonna bother changing them, because they're good. Like, I agree with one of them.
Can I please hit the target?
Yes, Mr. Chazakov.
Yes, chef.
I wonder if Sergei Lazarev suffers from the third place curse too.
Where he'll come back with a saxophone in a couple of years. That's backwards.
What?
Also, someone said they had a question earlier and I didn't actually see it come up, so
I shall check.
thank you.
To the good.
Okay, some of these are just clearly going through the targets because, you know, good beans and a booby boo. Good beans and a boo boo. This is the easiest one. This would be the easiest to do in real life. My arm hurts so much. I swear this is just giving me carpal tunnel syndrome. The stream is still going. I'm just bad. I swear this did not take me this many tries when I did it the first time. And if this ends up being... I don't think this can be a small key. I don't think there are any small keys left, but... Damn it. I had a streak going. I was streaking. Get out the way, you silly Tony Danza. Pull me closer, Tony Danza. I don't know who Tony Danza is.
I cannot find a question, so... Foxy something or other?
Bella Santiago La Plante. Florent
And
LaBelle.
I mean, I do understand that, like, some people do want to share, like, their top if their national final favourites had won. It's just... a lot of them are incredibly similar and very repetitive to sit through. Because, like, Yeah, we get it. Like, the Middletons was your favourite choice for Hungary, and I can't remember her name from Lithuania, the one that had 2 songs but told people not to vote for one of them. Do you know who I mean, Tess?
Yep, I don't remember her name. Morgan Freeman.
I can't remember her name either. I just know that she sung Criminal in Light On, but she told people not to vote for Criminal because she preferred to sing Light On, but then all the fans preferred Criminal. Like, I don't understand, like... I was gonna say, can you get away with that? But then Finland's managed to do it because they did it with their national cheer, which some people still seem to insist is an internal selection.
But it's not.
But, like, they selected their artist internally, but they're selecting their song through a national final, which is what I think the Netherlands did back in 2010. But kind of the other way around.
They selected the song, but not the artist?
Like, they had Shalali as, like, the song, but each of the artists in the Netherlands national final, like, performed, like, their take on it.
Which is
So
what the
kind
UK
of
did
like
as well. Because we had that woman called Esma, and she just forgot the words. And I don't blame her.
Oh, yeah, we did that. Like,
Oh, finally! Ah, my arm is incredibly sore from this.
did you finally get the thing?
Well, I did the minigame, and there's nothing else. There's nowhere else it could be. Oh my god, thank you! I would say it's always in the last place you look, but no shit, because once you found it, you stop looking. I'm okay now. We finally have the ice arrows.
Cool.
Oh, my loins. Oh. Brittany, what have we said about shoving avocados up your lady garden?
Avocado. Peel the avocado.
Guacamole. Guacamole. Retweet if you agree every time.
Good to see that Tess liked the video I sent him.
Yes, it was very good, and there were a lot of classic spicy memes in there.
Indeed.
And also, Shalali is a guilty pleasure. Like, it's not good, but it's a guilty pleasure.
Yeah. Like, not the best entry from the Netherlands. Fight me!
I don't think anyone's gonna fight you over that.
But, like, nobody really likes outlawing them either.
I liked it, and when I played it on my radio show, people liked it.
Yeah, I know, because I listened into that show, and I literally just... I was just like...
And I remember Andrew's reaction was, that is not a Eurovision song, and I'm like, bitch, it is.
Like, but it is, though.
And, oh, I have 3 notifications for some reason. But, yeah, in case I didn't mention earlier, in the music randomizer, there's Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Breath of the Wild, Lilac Wars, and Mario 64, and possibly others. So yes, unfortunately the forbidden one is also here. Anyway, I'm gonna dress up like a guy in a hood, so I'm just gonna... yeah. Okay, you were saying words. Please continue to speak words at my face.
I'm having a moment where I'm thinking, is Tess doing a radio show this year?
I am not, because, I'm not at university anymore. And in fact, I don't even think that Epcot FM is running, like, at all this year. Like, for the first time in 25 years, they're just not doing it, because... like, when I was in my final year of university, there wasn't anyone in the second year, but there was a class in the first year. And so now that I've graduated, that non-existent second class is now, like, non-existent third years, and it's the third years that run Epcot FM, and there's no third years, so there's no Epcot FM. After 25 consecutive years of which I was involvement. I was involvement, mind you.
I am still not over the fact that you actually managed to get your dad to voice an advert.
And that's probably going to have to go on one of the demo reels that I need to make still.
I'm assuming that my adverts, as pants though they were, will probably go in there instead.
Everything was good. Can I
I,
please have arrow friends?
Like the Prince one, the Mint Prince, or whatever it was.
Minty printy.
Minty Printy. That was good. But the travel and tourism one, I did while I was sick and I sounded awful.
Well, I think it sounded...
It sounded alright, but... You say it sounds alright, but I'm just like... I was ill. I sounded awful.
Hang on, a
listening to that
giant
ad.
boulder literally just landed on my head.
Cool.
But it feels like Epona is kind of small. Like, I think that the difference is more in Epona rather than the poop. The poop. Like Epona is like medium-sized in this game, whereas she's small when young and large when old in Ocarina of Time. So I guess that kind of accounts for it. And also, everything's dead. Poop. Poop. Oh,
Everything is...
Everything is poop.
Everything is glue.
Triple poop. But oh my god, we finally have the ice arrows. Ah. Tickle my quango. Dr. Jesus. Everything is poosum when you're part of a pile.
What?
Everything's poosum when you're part of a pile, obviously. I come out with some proper shit sometimes.
Yes, I know.
You noticed.
I've only been friends with you for like 5 years.
Like, for some reason, like 90% of the time when I start either recording Night in the Woods or when I'm preparing to record something on camera, the first thing that comes to mind is that there was this spubby of the Nokia logo that changed their slogan to gentle pee pee poo poo, and it's probably the pink outfit. And I just find myself like setting up the camera or whatever, being like gentle pee pee poo poo till I can get my satisfaction. You know that one song that's like Belgian but not? And yeah, I wasn't that impressed by Roses either. So, you know, we can all pee, especially on Saturday. But it's Tuesday. Then piss is forbidden. That was a conversation.
I just had a dumb moment where I thought the Slovenian flag was Slovakia.
I mean, they are similar-ish. Similish, if you will. Simlish.
Ooh!
Have you ever had a dream?
I dream of love, you dream of love, angels of God.
We all dream of love. Santiago.
I'm gathering an army to fight for what's left in this world and unite just to know what is love. Body of a woman, soul of a child, mind of the free, heart of...
Breath of the wild. Soap of the toothpaste. Dong of the gorilla. We all dream of love.
Like, I feel like I could get behind our entry this year if it, you know,
Existed.
wasn't...
Amy Schumer.
If it wasn't that. Like, of the three that we had to choose from, I preferred Freaks.
Yeah.
Over. Yeah. And even Sweet Lies could have been great.
Yeah. And Fox person, go right ahead. That is indeed me as I appear in my Danganronpa fan thing. And this particular artwork was done by the amazing Bast on Tumblr. Bast the Jab. There's probably a link in the description. If not, then there will be when this becomes a VOD. So, by all means, exist.
And yes, hopefully I will get one of those character sprites too.
You will do.
Yeah.
Basically, blame Alex for it not being higher up the list of priorities, because like he's been helping out doing like rough sketches of the characters, which I've been sending off to Bast for spritification, and at the moment he's only done 3, and then I had Joff do 1 for Joff. We stole his heart!
Okay.
But I really want to see how you turn out as well. Well, how Setsuko turns out, at least, because Japanese names. Go right ahead. Just as I want to see it though. So show me the wife, and by wife I mean light. Okay, the Sami part of the Norwegian song sounds to me, and I thought this ever since the song was first like performed in the national final. It kind of sounds like try not to choke her, as in make a conceited effort not to strangle the female. Do I mean concerted effort? Concerted effort, then.
Woohoo!
Try not to choke her. I know in the most recent update of the Ocarina of Time randomizer, they've finally got it so that the overworld, like the heart pieces in the overworld, actually have the correct sprites. Like the character, like model things, thingy doogus. Habibi. Come on everybody and party on the beach.
Come on, everybody, dance with me. Habibi, come on and dance with me. Hey.
That's the only song from this year's Melody Festival that I actually heard, apart from the finalists, and I do not remember any of the finalists.
Got me talking like I'm loco, from Paris to Morocco. It doesn't matter where we go. Isabella, Gabriella, everyone's a fella, and now we're gonna rock this show.
Wait. Everyone is a fella. There are no women. You cannot choke what is not female. What?
What? I literally thought that Soldi was about soldiers until I realised it meant money.
That makes sense. And honestly, I haven't heard a Dolly style song that I don't like, but I've not heard all their stuff. So, at the very least, I like everything that I've heard from them.
Yes.
And like,
I've heard all of their stuff.
Hello, Hi, Low Key makes me just a little bit like, not like teary-eyed, but like, there's something about this melody that makes me emotional and I don't know why. You know? It's the Spinny Boys. Soon to be the Dead.
The fact that it was in the same Melody Festival and his Heroes really breaks your heart, don't it?
In it.
Or was it in His Heroes?
I don't remember.
I can't remember. I know that Roller Coaster was in, like, the 2016 national final?
Low K, minimal potassium. It's there, there's just not much of it.
You know. You know, we're going high, we're going low, you know? We're on the Zelma peen.
We're Zelma high, we're Zelma low.
Mol Zelma is going to be part of the interval act at Eurovision this year, and I don't know how to feel about this.
Oh my god! Vixie! You did not have to do that! But thank you anyway. I muchly appreciate and thank with an M. And so, Mahmood is Cardi B confirmed. Cardi B, more like Bacardi. Bacardi. Arby's, there's food.
Just like Cardi B, I run the shit like cardio. I can't remember the song, but that's the only bit I seem to remember.
I know nothing of the cardiovascular venus. You know when bees have sex, the male bee puts his penis into the vagimbal.
Yes, Tess. Have you heard like what one of the interval acts is going to be for Eurovision?
I have. It's the whole song train thing. Also, we were just standing on an invisible ice platform that I just know is there because I'm good at this game, despite what my earlier performance may have suggested.
I can't remember who's singing what. Oh, I just remember that Mons is singing Heroes.
I sure did just let that happen. And yeah, Eleni Ferreira singing a Fuego version of La Tumbai.
No, Mons is singing Fuego. That was it. My brain was just like.
I admit, hearing Eleni sing someone else's second place song, I'm kind of here for this, bearing in mind, I want to see La Tumbai. Now, what I don't get about La Tumbai is why people are like, oh, it quite obviously means Russia goodbye. I do not hear it at all.
Some people do, and I respect their opinion for that, even if that opinion is quite clearly wrong.
See, my fandom is best fandom, the fandom of the opera, people who really stan, like, Pavarotti. Oh, so generous, Vixie. Now, I also have a Patreon, but I'm not expecting you to go after it. But no, for real, I am insanely grateful because people being nice and doing I'm genuinely thrilled. Anyway, yes, Loz, you were saying words. Continue to say words because you are a part of this conversation also.
Yeah. I can't remember what it was that Conchita was singing, but Conchita's gonna be there as well.
Rise like a sandwich.
Yeah. You know, Conchita...
Conchita singing Heroes, Mons is singing Fuego, Eleni Lashtumbai and Verka is singing Toy. Okay, that last part is gonna be a little bit bazingy dodongo. Dodongo dislikes smoke.
Oh, and Dana International's gonna be there as well.
Ah, the children. You know, the children, otherwise known as Dana International. Oh, Vix, I'm not expecting anything. You've done more than enough as it is, as I fully appreciate. Anyway, so, the Elegy of Emptiness. I need to fight some Scully boys. I don't have the mirror shield. I don't know if I can do this. Belated realization of mistake. I believe... Oh, well, that was just money anyway, so I guess we can just leave. I believe Eurovision Choir is on the 3rd of August this year.
Oh, that's the day before your birthday!
It is. And Scotland's taking part, and like, yes, I stand the fatherland.
And Wales is
also there.
They've also confirmed to take part in Eurovision again.
Yeah. I'm hoping that Scotland join Junior Eurovision as well. I have Instagram and Discord and Twitter as well. Basically, the choices are up to you.
It's up to you, New York, New York. Dun, 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 dun.
See, if that's the song I think it is, then all I can think of is that one Vine where it's that guy with a really good voice, and he's just like, what it would be like if Frank Sinatra could sext, and he's just like, da 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 da, start sending me nudes, and that's just it. That's the whole line.
Yes, it is.
So, I was going to do this earlier, and I realized you needed money. Pay me money so you can die politely. So without further ado, let's dive twice. One shot.
Yeet.
But yeah, I would rather enjoy viewing the Scotland at the contest of children. Because, like, I feel like Wales is like, ah, yes, we want to show off our Welshness. And then Scotland would be like, ah, fuck with your bullshit. We'll just do whatever the fuck's gonna do well. And then they just send, like, an entire bagpipe wearing a kilt.
Yes, I was going to say, I'm imagining, like, the Scottish entrant wearing a kilt and sporting a bagpipe and...
Sporting one bagpipe.
Yes. Because a bagpipe is a singular instrument, isn't it? No?
In German, they call it a Dudelsack. And
Two
baby shark! Well, I don't know what my Discord number is off the top of my head, so...
baby shark, doo-doo-doo-doo.
But... yeah, any which way you can find me, it's just whatever. I want to be convenient and accommodating.
Unplug the bride, Tess.
Yeah, it was from last week's stream, where, like, I was referencing the Botnik Studios, predictive text bot writes a speech about Bitcoin, and it ends with, if you want to learn more about how to hack the next big wave of money, I teach a masterclass on top of the shortest mountain in China. Thank you for all your email addresses. You may now unplug the internet. Okay, Vixie, and thank you. And yeah, I said that at the end of the stream, and then Joth was like, you may now unplug the bride, and I just died of laughter. 6.4% of my mother is pitch perfect throughout. Ah, we still made Ben, and Ben is still green despite the pink. Oh my god, the Dutch word is just so much worse! Doodlezack! Doodlezack grammary. You know, if I gave your boobiala a bastinado, would you let me put a tittle on your coccyx?
Milk the invisible sky cow.
Beep beep. Space sushi.
She's only a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend. She's never home, but she plays in the band. I don't know if you understand. She's only a friend of a friend of a friend. I had a dream that you walked the door. I can't recall her name anymore. Please believe me, I'm your man. She's only a friend of a friend of a friend.
I'm only a pope.
Nope, said the Pope, and he went on.
Well, clearly, she plays in Sarah McTurnan. Because the Czech Republic and Ireland are just opposite sides of the same song. And also, thank you, Vixie. So precious, so thank. Okay, so, Pink Link! That was another thing that happened in the previous stream. We had, we had Cafe and the Plinks as a band. There were 3 Pink Links and Cafe. Or I always pronounced it Kafi. I'm still learning to undo my sad love. Or just undo my sad, if you're that way inclined.
Undo my sad, undo what it's.
It's just another Swedish song.
Yes, that was it! I was trying to remember the parody we did to that song.
It wasn't my greatest work. You did the best with what I provided you with.
Thanks!
She's only a friend of 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 an artis animatis artis artis amatis artis artis animatis. Bullshit me crawling. You know that one. Oh, I like, this was ages ago, but I actually played Volshebny Krolik to Heather, and she got so offended because she recognized literally every single sample in the song as being one of the defaults in GarageBand, and she was like, this is evil. Okay, Vixie, that's fine. I would not expect, I would not be pressure. Thank you for being here for as long as you have. I appreciate.
Okay, bye.
More like K-pop.
But it was a poor, simple time in Belarus's history. I remember everybody not liking that song at the time because it was really, really creepy.
Oh, it is. I like the instrumental. I've only, like, listened to the full thing a couple of times because it's one of those things where you definitely have to be in the right mood for it. And also, as someone who has studied and can speak Latin, yeah, etis artis animatis doesn't mean anything. For the non-people with left beef who are asking, yes, I have a qualification in speaking Latin. It's a thing I can do. Though I've forgotten most of it, so... I love Belarus.
Yes.
It's fair enough. I appreciate your company either way. And you too, Laura, and everyone else who's watching as well, and people who are watching the VOD, if there's anyone apart from me, and I love the Belarus. But yes, that, honestly, I Love Belarus is actual boppage. Like, weirdly, it surprises me just how many bops Belarus has actually been putting out in recent years, because, like, I do like it, as has been evidenced by my top 41, and...
I like it too.
And then, like, the past couple of years haven't been quite as strong for them. Like, you know, last year was a bit of a fue, as opposed to a fuego. Indigo has returned! Yay, hello. Historia Majora was good. And then, Help You Fly / How to Fly was okay. And then... there's, the Jambalaya song, hang on, Time. Tummies Like Thunder. Teletubbies Like Thunder. that was good. Staging by a child who was dying of cancer or something, as I recall. Like, that's not me exaggerating, that's, I think they asked a child with cancer to design their staging or something like that, so...
Yes.
But yeah,
and then there was Cheesecake.
I liked Cheesecake, and like, it saddened me that people didn't take it seriously just because, oh, it's the silly cheesecake song, innit? But like,
69. That's the sex number.
Bashishi meets siesta.
Spicy, spicy beef.
Oh what?
Oh, what's this? Anyway, I should probably go to bed.
Oh, okay. Though the fact that I think I vaguely heard your husband in the distance gives that sentence an entirely different connotation.
Tess, no.
Okay.
Like, Billy D is going to go out and drink his sorrows because his football team lost to the football.
Is he going to play piss baseball again?
Yes.
There's a story to that.
He is going to the piss baseball place. And if you run into thing 1 and thing 2, please don't deafen Tess.
Yeah,
He's trying to show his hearing aid.
His hip? Oh!
He has a hearing.
Oh! It took me a moment to process the implications, but I get it.
I'm going deaf in my old age.
He's only 30.
Well, he's aged gracefully.
That's all.
But, yeah, like, Cheesecake was a good song, and then there are people who are like, oh no, it's the silly Cheesecake song, because he's like, oh, tie me up in your cheesecake, and that's not what the lyrics are. And then also, Soleo was good, Rhythm of Love was good, We Are the Heroes was good as well, and, I Love Belarus was good, and
Butterflies.
not so good.
And Eyes That Never Lie.
Decent. And then Hasta La Vista, decent. Work Your Magic, good. Mum, good.
Help Me Tonight.
What?
I think it was Hold Me Tonight.
That was it. That was a good one as well. And then 2004, I have never heard in my life, despite having done a Patreon video about Belarus.
But yes, I shall go to bed.
Okay. And Mommy, the much anticipated sequel to Sister. Ulu.
Hello. Bye.
Good boo. And then there was slightly fewer than there previously was. Okay, so for people who need some context, I'm about to go into the Stone Tower Temple, but because this is a randomizer, all of the keys are kind of everywhere. We know where 3 of the 4 of them are. And there's one I don't know where it is. There's one that we know where it is, but I don't want to get it. And we know where the boss key is. And so we have 2 keys. There's a 3rd one in as a prize for winning the Goron race. We don't know where the 4th one is. And I swear I'm just Rick from Rick and Morty sometimes. And the boss key is the prize for the Swamp Archery, which I don't want to do, but it's there. But in the meantime, I'm also going to go and grab a free bean. Because we're going to... Like, this is one thing that I see a lot of people sort of mess up on when they're doing Majora's Mask randomizers, is they're like, oh, there's a bean patch in the Stone Tower Temple, we need 2 beans for this, but you don't. You only need 1 because the second bean patch is just to get you back down.
Foolish children, you do not know the ways of the bean. You could not hope to put a saddle on the bean and ride it. You come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding, asking to ride my bean sack.
I don't know where this voice is going, we're just taking it on a journey and riding it to Calypso Town. And Eurovision 2006 was okay.
Okay!
There were good songs. Like Poland. Belgium, technically. Belarus. Bulgaria. There's a lot that I don't remember because, like, that was... that's the first year where I'm not, like, full-on Hadabadababada expert, you know? Like, specifically Hababadababada expert. Airborne choo-choo in the background there. But like 2006, I think, is the first year where my knowledge starts, like, keening in favor of I know less, rather than... Now, excuse you, Niels. I will fight you under a street... I will challenge you to a knife fight on a stone bridge. Poem 2006 is a good-ass song. It's not just a song, it's a sandwich. It's not just a sandwich, it's a house. It's a house cube. I fell off the button. Now, secret tip to Speedy. Literally just step on this switch, and then put the thing on it, and then take the thing back off. Thank you, phone. And then take the statue back off the switch, and it's like, choo-choo. And... yeah, I found Vixie following me. I was checking my phone whilst waiting for stuff to happen.
My phone is full of notifications and I'm sad!
Except I'm not... I do not have the sadness. Now, I was going to, Okay, hold on. That sounds really, disparaging if you do the context. So, I got a notification for a comment on one of my videos, and the comment, like, all I saw was, "This is possible winner!" And I'm like, really? And then I just checked which video it was on. It was on the Russia video, and I'm like, you had my interest, and you pissed up the wall. Anyway, I am not wearing the stone mask. Mistakes have been made. I feel that, Indigo. Like, that's my biggest criticism with the remake of of Link's Awakening, because, like, my main argument with that is if the people who made the original had the technology we had today, they probably wouldn't want to make it a top-down 2D thing. So, to remake it, but have it be exactly the same, except now it's made in Roblox, seems kind of counterintuitive to, like it doesn't seem to fully honor what the original intention, but I could be completely wrong. And the thing with remakes is, I suppose, in some cases it's a question of accessibility, and then, you know, so like, oh, we're going to remake so-and-so game for this console, so more people have the chance to play it because this console is more accessible than whichever. But then there's some case. That's what the art style reminds me of. Like, I'm not saying it's bad by any means, and like, I will probably end up getting it eventually, but I don't have a Switch at the moment. So, like, I'm not completely opposed to the remake. And like I said, you know, it does make it more accessible to more people. I mean, how many people would actually watch? I mean, I say that, I actually did used to do Test Talks streams, and I stopped doing them for whatever reason, but, you know, it could be a thing. Like, that would potentially be fun to do. Just a matter of seeing if there's enough people who are up for it, but, yeah. Like, I feel as though a remake should, at the very least, polish up some, like, differences between the original and the remake. Like, Majora's Mask 3D, I think, did a really strange combination of doing that right and doing that wrong, because... Oh, there's the postman's hat, finally. Because, like, Majora 3D, like, it got a lot of stuff right. Like, they improved the Song of Double Time so it's more precise, and they, like, they changed some other stuff. Like, they added in a 7th bottle and, like, a whole new side quest to go with it, which is... hello, Dino. Like, they added a new thing in, which is, like, a bit weird, a little bit unexpected. Like, how are you supposed to know that it's there? But, I mean, how are you supposed to know that anything's anywhere in the original? So, fair dues to them. And, like, they moved the stone mask to be inside the pirate's fortress, whereas in the original it wasn't, and I think that was a really clever decision. And then again, I'm gonna have to agree with the majority and say I don't like what they did with some of the bosses. I think some of them were fine. And some of them weren't. But I just sort of got distracted by catching up with what Indigo's been saying, because... As someone who speaks languages, I am invested in this conversation. But I do miss the days of because like I remember like revising languages by playing like Sonic Heroes in Italian or whatever. Bear in mind, I've never formally studied Italian. Also, what was I just saying? Also, okay, I just realized that there's one... Okay, I didn't just realize it, but there is one small key that we don't have to use, and that's on the door back here. So, that's good at least. But there's still 2 that we do have to use, and also I need to dolphin jump out of this water and it's gonna fucking suck. Alright, well, what was I in the middle of saying? Oh, there's a... Wait, hang on. Did I just... Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm just a plain old goofy-doofy idiot. Yeah, so I don't like what they did with some of the bosses in Majora 3D, because, like, I think Adolwa they improved, Gort I think they made worse. Georg they definitely made worse, and Twin Mold, I appreciate what they did with that. Like, it was... Oh, I was so close. Like, I like that they did it differently. I like they had the nerve to change it. Like, I know it involves like completely rewriting the physics of the Giant's Mask, but like, good on them, kind of. Get used to hearing the end of this jingle 50,000 times. I'm just gonna wait till the jingle ends, just so we don't hear this 50... Well, thing is, as a child, I pronounced it Jyorg, but like, it's... As someone who speaks Japanese... Unfortunately, I can confirm it is Georg, so... Just... Jyorg sounds so much more natural to me, even though it doesn't sound natural to anyone. Oh, yeah, I agree. I dislike how they changed Zora. I forgot. Like, I blocked it out of my brain that's how badly they nerfed Zora Link. Because, as you may have noticed, for anyone who's only ever played the 3D version, because Indigo, I know you've played the 3D version, I don't know if you played the original, but in the 3D version, you can only do, you can only fast swim whilst doing the electric shield, which means that you can't fast swim unless you're using magic. Whereas in this, you fast swim by default. And like, also, the way they updated the Georg fight relies too heavily on Link's underwater combat as Zora Link, and it doesn't work. The fighting controls underwater are just not good enough to support a boss of that caliber. Like, I didn't like Georg the original, so, you know, just, there was suckage. And also, Hearty! Hearty! Well, I beat Snowhead Temple in the previous stream, and also, yeah, Woodfall and Snowhead were in the previous stream, and now that we have the ice arrows, I can do the back half of Great Bay Temple as well, but, I mean, we're here now, so... Also, I just realised, we've got the ice cavern music from the first game in here. Well, the first game, Ocarina of Time. There we go. Keyboard controls, they're the best thing. And it's upside down, of course it is. Now, weirdly, I feel as though, as a child, at some point, I made it to some of the later areas of this game, but without any context. So, like, I know that I didn't... Like, I know getting the New Wave Bossa Nova was one of the last things that I remember coming to this temple and not knowing about the upside down gimmick. And seeing a load of upside-down chests and thinking, huh, what's the deal with those? And somehow not piecing together that you can turn the temple upside down. Like, not that I struggled with it, it's like, I didn't realise that it was coming before I knew about it. And another burp. Taste of curry. Makhani masala, to be precise. It is a good-ass type of curry, and this is not where I thought this was. Also, I love the Najiran, they look so dumb. And, yeah, fun fact about me, I do really like Ocarina of Time, and I love Majora's Mask. It's my favourite Zelda game. And I've never owned it on console, so to speak. Like, more accurately, I have owned, like, I grew up with the GameCube version, like the Legend of Zelda Collector's Edition. And so that's the version that I always played with GameCube controls, GameCube colors. And so seeing the attack button be blue and the sword button be green is wrong compared to what I grew up on. Like, as a child, I grew up with it being, you know, start was grey, B was red, and A was green because it was mapped to the GameCube colors. So, that's why I grew up on it. Anyway, this room is absolute arse on a panistry. A panistry, mind you. Don't know what one of those even is. It's probably not a word. Also, for anyone who's present and British, just, like, while I was having dinner, I caught up on that new, that comedy on BBC One, Ghosts. It's good. No! It is a good. Like, it's made by the people who made Horrible Histories, and they're already good and fun and just generally good writers, and now they're doing a slightly more adult-oriented, but, like, only in the humor is slightly edgier and slightly raunchier. Like, it's like, I haven't seen anything raunchy in there. I think there was something that vaguely sounded vaguely penetic, but that was it, and, yeah. But anyway, it's good. I recommend watching it if you haven't already. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk, but the TED Talk is about ghosts. Now, I don't have any USB-compatible controllers. Well, I do have an Xbox 360 controller, but I don't have any means of, like, connecting it to the computer, so no matter what I do... Well, I have two wireless PS3 controllers, but I don't know if I can do anything with those either. And now we do the side piece. The test talk, the undead talk. Both of these are equally valid responses, and I love you for submitting them. Now, is this anything, or is this a stray fairy? It's just a stray fairy, but that's okay, because the Stone Tower Great Fairies are the only ones that actually count towards Randomizer, so... Oh good, we're backwards. Wait, this is actually advantageous, never mind. Wait, never mind. Oh, I hit a wall. This room sucks. But I did it first try, because of course I did. What the flower? And you know what? I see the relationship to Magma Cone. I like Magma Cone, also it has weird music. Like, I don't think I properly articulated it back when I Let's Played Spyro 2, but just, what is that vocal sample? Oh good, I'm about to get blown up. That vocal sample in the Magma Cone theme that's just... It's good sound design is what it is. Anyway, we can finally achieve Light Arrow. Now, I fought one of these guys in the secret shrine like 2 streams ago, so we will have no Pingus. And they just hit me every time because that's just how Gyro Masters do. Every single time. 2 at a time, every single time. Okay, good. Okay, Daddy. Daddy Gyro. Oh, that wasn't supposed to work. I was just flailing in retaliation and it somehow... Like, that's probably... Like, I had too much trouble with the Dolwa and not enough trouble with that. So that was... garbage. With a circumflex on the A. Garbage. Yeah, I'm sure people really wanted to hear me go ha into the microphone. See, I do find it fascinating, like the way people like what people's thought processes are when it comes to there's this room. I forgot about this room, and everyone forgets about that that fucking crystal switch there. Like they're like, oh no, there was a crystal switch. And now I'm upside down, and the chest is the other way up. Like, I'm talking gibberish. I find it interesting, like what people's thought processes are when it comes to doing like parts of a Let's Play. Like, not just like I don't mean like parts of a Let's Play, but like the component pieces. Like how they handle the thumbnails and like the outros and like the end cards and whatever. Like I find it to be interesting stuff. So, I'm always down for a natter of some flavors about, probably, but it's been a while since I last saw it, so you might have to jog my memory, but I definitely did watch that whole series because I remember playing Blue Rescue Team when I was younger, so it was kind of, it already had my interest, and I remembered it being a feels-heavy experience, but I forgot why, and now I watched your Let's Play, and now I'm like, oh yeah. So I remember the, Lapis Cave, I forget if that's exactly the name, but when I feel a blueness. I did wonder if that was a reference to me. Like, I remember seeing it now. I remember wondering if that was a reference to me or if that was just a coincidence. But turns out it was a reference. So yes, that's the name of a level as created by my grandmother who died many years ago. Like, probably like 15 years ago at this point, come to think of it. Like, wow. It has been a long time. But yeah, so I could retell this story here. It would probably make the original telling less special, but nevertheless. As a youth, I used to, like, pass the time in the car or whatever by, like, coming up with, like, names for levels in a Sonic game. Which is dumb, kind of, maybe not weebish, but, not great. And I got my grandmother involved once, and she was like, I can't do this because I don't have, like, I don't have magic. What do you want from me, game? Am I gonna have to go around the long way just because I don't have any fucking like, how did they not plan for this? How did they not plan for this? Is there some other way of doing this that I just don't remember? Because, like, I have exactly 1 Deku Nut and that will not be enough. Okay, good. Oh, I can still fight it. I thought you, like, outright had to use light arrows to stun it. Well, I'm dumb. Also, I distinctly remember seeing, like, a walkthrough guide ages ago, where it was, like, a step-by-step guide to beating this dungeon. And I just remember one step dedicated entirely just to its own bullet point was just kill the Igor. And that's what we did. And our prize is another stray fairy. And there's still an entire, like, other half of the like, never mind the upside down side. We still need to go to the this way. And so that's what I'm going to do. And this room kind of sucks if you're not mentally prepared. And, okay, just speaking of, like, lapis stones in general, which is a really weird way to initiate a conversation, but, Also, it took me, like, not a decade. It took me a long-ass time to solve this puzzle as a child, and it is just pick up a box, put down a box. Because there's a bunch of switches, and it makes it clear that you're supposed to use the LG of emptiness, and for some reason, like Deku Link is too light to hold down switches in LG of emptiness, like, form, so you need to use at least one box to hold a button down, and I was a dumb child and did not realize that, so here we go. Now, I've never minded the Great Fairies, personally. Like, I know a lot of people do, and I completely see why, but they've never bothered me. But then again, I'm not really a breast man. I'm not really an anything man. I'm... Like, on Tumblr the other day, I found, like, a link to, like, not a personality quiz, but, like, something like that. And it was, like, some university doing, like, gender studies or something like that. And it's basically just answer a bunch of questions and we'll tell you your sexuality. But it's like, it's... Oh yeah, I'll get back to Lapis in a second. Like, instead of on a scale of straight to gay, they do it on like a grid. So it's like straight to gay on one axis and then like asexual to bisexual on the other. And like I took it several times just to be like scientific and shit. And every single time it put me in the asexual corner. So, I don't... Ass man, titty man, neither. I don't care about people. Okay, but yes. Basically, I was raised in a household where my mother knows stuff about gems and gemology, and I do have a fairly sizable gemstone collection myself. And I've never understood why people... Like, I was raised to pronounce it lapis lazuli. And, like, I've only ever heard Americans call it lapis lazuli, and that just sounds stupid to my ears, because it's lazuli. It's just how it is, just how it be. This is how we be talking, we be speaking language words. And there's, like, 3 chests in here, and then a 4th one in the upside-down version. And I'm gonna need some magic soon, because this is the last room of this side of the temple. It's not meant to be, because we read the whole thing out of order, but this is the last room we can do anything in. Because there's a locked door in the previous room, and I'm deliberately choosing to ignore that, because we need to, like, if I save one key... Like, first of all, there's a stone tower key somewhere in the world that I've still yet to find. So, you know, if I can save a key there, then it doesn't matter that I can't find that one key. And if I can find that key, so much the better, because the other small key for Stone Tower is the prize for winning the Goron race in the spring, and I don't want to do that. Not that it especially matters, because the boss key here is the swamp archery, and I don't want to do that either. But I have to, because otherwise we can't fight the boss. But what I can do at least... Ah, that was unusual. Hey, Vixie has returned. Is it okay if I call you Vixie? Should I call you something else? Do you have a preference? Let me know so that I may accommodate accordingly. Huh. Okay. I'm just going to put that on my list of notes. What they called? Not Stelvos. Amos. Amos room. Okay. Just, I had to make note of that, just in case. Like, I should be doing Great Way Temple in this stream, but if I don't, that's where the boss key is. I would have so preferred it to be the boss key for here, but you can't always get what you want. And there's Cafe's mask. It's too late to use it in this cycle, but hey. And, ooh, but it's not though. Ooh, inspiration, dedation, de-do. Okay, so I have 2 things to do now. So, while I can't, like, okay, so, I've done most of the Anju Cafe side quest, or in this case, the Anju Link side quest. But I haven't got the, whatever the letter to Cafe has turned into, and I haven't got the couple's mask, or whatever the couple's mask has turned into. And also, I need, text strings are not randomized in this one. I don't remember if there's a setting for that in the randomizer at the moment, or if there was when I randomized. I don't know. In this case, it isn't anyway. But yeah, so it didn't occur to me until the end of the last stream that I needed the cafe mask in order to deliver the special delivery to Mama, which is one hell of a sentence. But like, you get an item, you can deliver it to the postman. Good. Yeah, no, we're just going with this. This was good. Free Wi-Fi. But yeah, it didn't occur to me until the very end of the previous stream that you need the cafe mask in order to give the special delivery to Mama to the person you're supposed to give it to, other than the postman. So anyway, I'm doing this now just because of the bean, but for the most part, I'm going to disappear. Well, not disappear, but like also just to prove it, like cafe, double cafe, single cafe, double cafe. It disappoints me that they weren't able to turn the cafe mask into the Link mask. Bearing in mind they replaced Link's model with cafes and vice versa. So if we do the Anju cafe quest, then we're actually helping Link reunite with Anju instead. And as you know, Anju, as has been established, smells of a ball sack, as has been established by Josh and or Tyler. Anyway. Way up here, there is another bean patch, but that's just to take you back down, but that doesn't matter. Also, I'm fairly sure that the temple does not stay flipped if you warp away, and yet I've seen someone, like, prove otherwise, but I'm fairly sure they're wrong, so... Heart pie! Are we going to get 2 heart pies? Chicken pot pie? Oh! That's convenient. Again, I'm just putting this in the list of notes that I have. So basically, this means that actually I could do the back half of the temple now and just not go into the boss fight yet. Ah, that was weirdly convenient. 2 heart pieces with a key in the middle. Okay, so whatever I was about to do, plans have changed. We're going back into the temple to do some more. So, at some point in the cycle, I'll need to go to the pirate hideout to get the special delivery to Mama and deliver that accordingly. I can at least get all of the stray fairies here now, because I'm good at this game. Like, I know people aren't too fond of how the stray fairies work in this dungeon just because there's so many of them and it's split across 2, but... Again, I've never had trouble with it, and like, we've had a fairly efficient run of the first half of the dungeon. There's more in the first half of the second half. We're doing well for ourselves. And this is respawned for some reason. Now, what does confuse me is, so, when you flip the temple, the animation clearly shows it doing a 180-degree rotation, but when you come back into the temple, it's just flipped upside down, like, as in, it's been upside down inverted. And I guess that's why they call it the inverted stone tower, as opposed to, like, I suppose because upside down sounds too clungy, but also, it's not really upside down. It's not rotated, it has literally, like, mirror flipped, and that makes no sense, and yet, here we are. So, question for y'all. Do you like me better when I don't have co-commentators? Because, like, I prefer having friends to co-commentate with for these streams, but I recognize that, like, when I have once I get onto a sufficient, like, tangent, I can commentate really rather well. And this is kind of good practice for me because, like, the only thing that's stopping me from uploading more Night in the Woods at the moment is the fact that, I've not recorded any more Tingle yet, and this is kind of good practice for me to get back into recording Tingle, so... And I have 12 episodes of the series that's replacing Night in the Woods all recorded and edited, and actually they're all already uploaded, they're just set to private. Ah, fuck, I forgot that that's the one where I don't think you can trigger that switch from the right side up version of the temples. That's the only case where we'll have to stop, drop, go back around, and I haven't forgotten about the switch in that passageway over there. I just need to get this first, because otherwise the elegy statue might disappear. We do need the tingles. My mother is still, like, good, very good. But my mother is good, but also... She's very not fond of my Pinkhole voice, and at the moment, like we have kind of a routine where we'll watch like a game show during breakfast or my latest Let's Play episode if that's applicable. And then at lunch we'll watch one of my older Let's Plays, and then like later in the day where we have tea and biscuits, or as we call it, Tiddly Bisque, which like we named after a post on Tumblr. We watch like a game show or something, and at the moment, my mother and I, well, she's watching it for the first time, I'm rewatching it, obviously. We're watching my Let's Play of Pikmin 3, and my voice for Brittany in that is just, like, proto-Pinkle. Like, Pinkle is like a better version of that voice, so... Also, people need to be less concerned about using that Dexy hand to get up onto the shore in that previous room when the room's the right side up. Also, I totally meant to use the stone mask, but here we are.
Hip loop! Hip loop! Hip loop, you fuck!
Well, that's okay, because there's this up here anyway, so... Can I backflip? I can, but not to where I need to be. And... well... I don't know if I could do, like, Brittany anymore, because Pinkle is more, like, my dominant voice. Oh, should not use dominant and that voice in the same thought process. But, like, Brittany is kind of a, oh yes, Charlie, take that avocado and shove it somewhere improper. Whereas, hi, Pinkle, it's me, Tingle. I got that completely arse backwards. So basically, I don't have any good female voices, except I kind of low-key do, because, like, my voice for B is pretty decent, I think. Like, it's as feminine as I can go, as a male-identifying male who was born male, so... I may require some context here. Tess should do... well, do you require a special, like, microphone for ASMR, or can you just have a regular microphone but turned way the fuck up? Because if it's the latter, then that is a thing I could do. Oh, see, I'm uncomfortable just reading that. Just reading it in my head space, flarf. But it's clearly next year's April Fool's video should just be Tess reviews a video, but it's ASMR. And like, what was it I referenced in the San Marino review this year? Like, emotionally mature Funky Kong gives you a lift home from the airport after a messy divorce, or something like that. That's just what the song reminds me of, but in a good way. Please, Cathay, push the block. You've got to push the blockton. It's like, okay, does anyone here, apart from me, remember Israel's entry from 2007? Because that's just meme-tacular, and like when I first listened to it for the first time, I'd put it on because I was trying to remember who did that song Push the Button, which I think was like Girls Aloud or the Spice Girls or some girl group, and I was like, oh shit, was that in Eurovision? And I put the CD on just to hear the T-Pax Push the Button, and no, that is not that song. He's gonna push the button, push the button, push the button, push the button, push the button. And for ages as well, I thought the Hebrew part in that song was in German, for no reason other than, that sounds vaguely Germanic, even though it was Hebrew. But then again, Hebrew and German kind of? Well, I know, like, there's a lot of, like, is it Hebrew slang? Like, there's slang that occurs in the Jewish community that derives from German at the very least. So that's my understanding. But anyway, as someone who's studied language and has no particular political investment in pushing one agenda or another, so like I don't want to be accused of being racist because that's not my intention. It's just I know stuff about language, and but on I have a cube. I have a button. Death button cube. So, is Yiddish a language or is it a dialect? Because, like, I've heard the name. I know my mother has referenced it before, but, like, I've never fully understood. And I'm all for learning about new cultures. So, you know, teach me things. Because I remember at some point in, actually, I don't remember. I know at some point I did a review where I happened to mention, is Aborigine the correct word? Because, like, the native people of Australia. I remember talking about them and also the people of New Zealand, and I think I mixed up which one was which. Like, I referenced that the Maori and they're the New Zealand ones, I think. Like, I remember making a mistake at the very least. Like, it stuck with me, and, like, I value learning, basically. So, I thank you for informing me of food. And by food, I mean knowledge. Because food is knowledge for the brain. Food? Hang on. Food is knowledge for the brain. Yeah, sure. That makes sense. Just shout out to that time that I referred to the dialects of Austrian as a Creole because I forgot the exact definition of Creole. Like Crayola. I was hoping I could one-cycle this Couche Danube, this blue Danube, this nudist rendition of a potato. You know, because nudism is an art movement. Yeah, I've seen you've been studying the Blade, and by the Blade I mean Swedish. See, I've had a link to the Duolingo website in my, like, favorites bookmark bar for literal years, because, like, before the Duolingo owl became this big meme thing, Joth actually recommended it to me just for purposes of, like, brushing up on languages, and I've literally been meaning to, like, get involved for many, many years, and I just haven't, because I'm bad. A bail! Oh, Locus, you shoe bag. A bag full of shoes. And that's the end of that thought. Okay. I think... Okay, so I know where Stray Fairy 14 is in the... Like, in the right side version of the temple, that sun switch that I uxpokled for earlier. And then the 15th one should be the hookshot chest in the central room that you're supposed to use to get to the boss door. So, basically, we're a gang of people who speak Gucci with a Vagublio people. Well, I can speak Castilian, and I specify Castilian because I know that there are some people who are like, hey, you can't just say Spanish. Oh, sad face. But yeah, I would kind of like to learn Catalan as well, and I'm not entirely sure why that is. Also, I want to, like, get back into speaking French because I haven't studied it for, like, since, like, 2010. And that's only because my high school was like, hey, you have to take religion. And I'm like, no, I want to learn French. And they're like, no. You're already doing Spanish and German and Latin and English, so stop it with the languages. And so, here we are. I am unable to speak French because of some petty people who are like, nah, y'all need Jesus. Which was basically literally their reasoning. And I'm sad and I'm embittered. Which is a word, funnily enough. I don't know why you wouldn't think it is. And this corridor that everyone forgets the fuck about. Yeah, like, my understanding of it is, like, Catalan is if French and Castilian had a baby. That baby. I was that baby. So many flowers. Okay, that was half a thought. I'm thinking, like, there are so many places in the Akana Canyon area that's like, hey, you need to do a jump slash to confirm this jump. Except you don't need to, it's just helpful if you do. Because there was a platform similar to that back in Ikana Castle, for people who were here at that point in the stream. Hey. I don't know how you're supposed to do this, but that's how I just did it. So, step 1, we plooble over here and into the brown house. You know, the brown house. No, Tess. No, we don't know the brown house. Okay, so... Should I guess there is the Giant's Master Chest. I'm just thinking, how much more of this temple should I do before, like, ducking back out and going to Pampan Town? By which I mean I'm going to need to get the boss key eventually, otherwise I won't be able to... I do have the Giant's Master. Oh, never mind then. Also, it's past 10 PM, which means we can go into Clock Town and get some infinite milk. Also, this music fits this temple really well, weirdly enough. Like, I prefer the really airy-sounding, like, upside-down version of Stone Tower Temple for the upside-down version of Stone Tower Temple. But, you know, we make do with what the randomizer giveth. The Lord yeeteth, the Lord yoinketh away. This is fine. So, this is an enemy that's only ever appeared in Zelda, like, one time. And this is that one time. I was that baby. Also, I feel like I could be careless here because I have a fairy in a bottle. Like a genie in a bottle, but it's a fairy. You can't hit me at such close range except when you spin your scythe in my face. Well, this is fun and close range combat. It's like close combat in the Pokemon games. And, oh, come now. Oh, come the fuck now. There we go. It's like yeah, that close combat attack in Pokemon where it's like, hey, you do a lot of damage, but also you suck. That's how Pokemon works, right? Also, I could technically go and do the Dongero quest in this cycle as well, huh? That's not good. Why do I have 6 bottles? That's not good. Fam, this is... Now you might think, Tess, why are you acting this way? But when I made this randomizer seed, I told it to exclude the beaver bottle and the beaver heart piece. So where has this extra bottle come from? Does this mean if a woman has starch masks on her body, does that mean she has been Pargnate before? Full stop question mark. Right, so what I need to do now is reinvert the temple, get those last 2 stray fairies, duck back down to Akana Canyon base, get the stray fairy reward, I guess go and get the Parnglis, the boss key. Sometimes I just forget what the words for things are. And you know what? Since we're making the rounds, that's all. I'll go back to Clocktown first, since it's just gone 10, and get into the milk bar, buy some Chateau Romani, because I believe if the ranch isn't open, you can still buy it, but just for 200 rupees, and we have no other use for rupees at this point. Rupees! Rupees! Oh. I have been done an educate. Thank you for informing me of this. I know I've heard the name Ashkenazi before, but I didn't know what it referred to, so... This stream informs and entertains. And we don't need to worry with these... We don't need to worry with these people. Mario! I would like to beber. Now, I think that would be randomized if we were doing a bottle randomizer, but we're not. So I can just drink.
Overpowered as fuck.
Oh, and it healed me as well, that's nice. And then next thing to do, head back into Stone Tower with the right side up. And collect the last stray fairies. I bet it's probably, like, fairly annoying hearing me talk through my plans so constantly, but, like, it's a randomizer. Shit's stressful. I need to keep in the forefront of my mind what the flarth I'm doing, because otherwise there will be suffering, and there will be consequences. A snar. Songs that would be good for convincing people that Eurovision is good. I guess it depends on the tastes of the person in question. Like, if they're, like... If they're a normal, like, real-world person as opposed to a Eurovision fan, then I recommend, like... I'd say Switzerland and maybe Cyprus for this year, and the Netherlands to show that, you know, we do have emotional range. If they're into slightly memeier stuff, then I would say Moldova 2017, and I'd say Bulgaria for basically the last 3 years of Bulgaria for like a good general spread of like the sort of thing that Eurovision can put out. Those are just like general recommendations of like, I don't know, show us a variety of what we done do diddly diddly dump have. Oh, yeah, and Czech Republic 2000, yeah, Czech Republic for the past 2 years are good examples. Basically, anything that's not Portugal, because Portugal confuses and scares people. Why does it look like there are 2 chests on the map here? Honestly, I don't know either. Sandwich next April. So it's April now, but you have to wait until next April to have a sandwich. Get out of town, fish. Well, that went well. Now, there is another chest in here, and that's bothering me, because why would the... Super Nut Angel! Even better. But yeah, where is the... There's a chest that's here, but I just got this chest. Is there another one? Is it the police? Sandwich... I got that chest, and there's this one, and like... Oh. But I opened that, didn't I? Did I make that chest spawn and then just never open it? I mean, it doesn't matter. We'll need to come back to the temple upside down anyway, but damn, I'm dumb. Well, whatever. I may as well leave on foot because we're this close to the entrance, then we'll flop. We will flop back down to Argentina. We'll flop back down to Argentina. I just realized what I said. Speaking of, I did once, like... I would say accidentally, I think that's a bit sensationalist. I did once buy the flag of Argentina from a party shop in Brighton. I still have that flag. I've never needed it. It's part of my extended collection. Because I have, like... There are a couple... Like, I have flags for every country in Eurovision, apart from Kazakhstan, and I don't remember if I have Slovakia or not. But I have all the ones that are currently in it, at any rate. And... I also have, Bhutan, the Seychelles, and Libya, I want to say, and Argentina, and Antarctica, as you've seen if you watched the predictive text review, which was just gorgeous. Also, I love the colour of this great fairy's hair, but we can't see it because of the thing. And that's where the blast mask was. That doesn't help us at all, but thanks anyway. So, with that being done, who makes the best Eurovision tweets? I mean, I'd like to think that I do, but I hardly ever tweet. Like, I'm aware that that's on me. I like, never tweet, and I should. And since we're here, I'm just gonna go boodly 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 boo. But, like, at the moment, since I have the boss key, and there's only one small key in the Great Bay Temple, and all that needs... Like, you only need that if you're going for the Ice Arrow chest, which we've already got. So we don't need the small key for the Great Bay Temple for anything, and there aren't any others apart from that one. So, yeah, we could just go and crack out Great Bay Temple since we're here. With Bhutan and the Seychelles, as I recall, those two and North Macedonia make up the official top 3 prettiest flags in the world. So, the Bhutanese flag is really cool, though. And my mother likes the Seychelles flag, so... Like, I never intended to collect every flag in the world. It was just, like, I have Luxembourg as well. And technically Monaco, if you're willing to see me flip the Polish flag upside down. And I do actually have different flags for Luxembourg and the Netherlands, but the Luxembourg one isn't light enough blue to be able to tell them apart at a glance, so I've had to label them, because you can tell them apart if you put them next to each other. Anyway, good thing we have infinite magic, because we have hella things to do in this dungeon. Oh, come now. Thank you. Thank you. You over there. And... you in the back, catch fire. I said catch fire. Incinerate. Incendio. Pyroclastic. Honestly, there isn't a massive amount of rhyme or reason with my flag purchasing, and I actually haven't bought a flag in years anyway, so... It's true, you do also have Indonesia in those circumstances. What other flags do I technically have? I mean, I guess I have the former flag of Serbia and Montenegro. Cafe, I did not say to do that. And all I have to do is, like, get a red star and just stick it onto the Netherlands flag, and then just hang it upside down, and there you go. That's Yugoslavia. And what else? What else do I have, technically speaking? On a matter of technicality, I have the Austrian flag because I have the Austrian flag. Are there any other flags I can, like, fold creatively? I guess, technically, Costa Rica, if you really zoom in on the Icelandic one, well, funny story, and also, thank you, James, I think I'm underrated, too. Yeah, funny story, I did actually buy a green screen, and it was, like, literally 99% off on Amazon. Like, it was insane how good a deal I got on it. But the reason why I bought it in the first place is because I'd tried, like, I had gone onto the website of my usual flag supplier, and they said that they could do the old Libyan flag or the new Libyan flag, and I specifically ordered the old one, and they sent the new one anyway. And I wanted to buy the old one so that I could use it as a budget green screen, and then I ended up getting, like, a fucking huge one for a fraction of the price anyway, so kind of jokes on them. And the thing is, I've literally only ever used my green screen once, and that was in the Moldova Patreon video, where I kind of wanted to pause what I was saying, but then I had to pause the pause. So that was fun. Hang on, I'm sorry, that was a really pathetic reaction on my part for just completely overshooting the water spout, which isn't a euphemism, despite the fact that it kind of sounds like one. Okay, so this next room is going to be kind of fun. We need to invert the washing machine, because this temple is just a giant washing machine, and, like, I know that people enjoy hating on this and the water temple from Ocarina of Time, and I actually like them both, but the Great Bay Temple definitely more so. And funny other thing as well, at some point I intend to do a Patreon video that's like top 10 most, like, not underrated, but like most overhated levels in gaming, and Great Bay Temple will definitely be on that list because I fucking love it and I refuse to apologize for this. Good. This was an experience. Okay, now I know there's a stray fairy in the room above. Hang on, I think I bought the Australian flag either the year they debuted, but I think when it was rumored that they would debut, or I bought it when they were the Interval Act that one time. I don't remember, but I know I had it in time to review tonight again, at the very least. So, okay, so what I'm doing here, as I tried to explain, is there's a stray fairy at the top of this room, but like, if I'm going to use the Great Fairy Mask to attract it anyway, I might as well free the one in this bastard pot as well. You know, bastard pot. It's like it's the illegal child of Weed and Weed, Mr. and Mrs. Weed. So, is hollandaise sauce actually Dutch? Don't suck me into the side hole yet. I'm not ready to go into the side hole just yet. I need to free the barrel. Now, I don't think this is the side of the room I want to be on, but it might be because I was inside the washing machine too long. I've forgotten the shape. This is not. This is the wrong side of the room. More like Poseidon room. Cafe, why you jump so slow? Yeah, I didn't have most of them in 2014, and then there were some that I had then, but not many, and then I acquired more in the intervening time. But yeah, I don't remember if I had all of the ones even in 2015. I'm fairly sure I had Australia, but the rest I could not tell you. That wasn't meant to rhyme, and it kind of only half did anyway. Anyway, there we go. So, game plan for this temple. Zora mask, please, and ice arrows. And I could technically do the room that's currently to my left, but I don't like that room for no particular reason. I just don't enjoy it. Like, there are unfun parts of the temple. Yeah, I do still have the old Macedonian flag, basically for the same reason that I have the new Libyan flag, because, like, on the website, they said, yes, we could do the old Macedonian flag or the new one, and I'm like, well, can I have the current one, please, because I know it's kind of a really sensitive subject for a lot of people, and they were like, yeah, sure, and then they sent me the old one anyway. I'm like, really? Did that really just happen? And then, like, I sort of left it like that for quite more years than I should have done before I just folded and bought the the present day one on Amazon, so... Heart! And, like, with the old Macedonian flag in particular, it's kind of a big deal because it's got the Virgina song on it, and Greece is kind of really protective of that because that on a blue background is the flag of Greek Macedonia, and the old flag of North Macedonia was the same thing but red. Similar to how, like, the Chinese province of Xinjiang is basically just the Turkish flag but blue instead of red. How much did I spend on them? Not all that much, surprisingly enough. Like, I know if you order them in bulk from the website I provided them from, they did give, like, a slight discount for bulk orders, and also I got some of them as, like, either birthday or Christmas presents as well. Most of them are out of my own pocket, though, but, like, they actually were surprisingly cheap, so... And yet they're good quality. I want to stress, like, they're cheap but good quality, so here we are. I have 4 notifications. I had 3 earlier, and then saw one of them, and I've had 2 more pop up in the intervening time. Ah, the YouTubes. Ah, the YouTube. Here's terrifying. Oh, we just went inside Cafe's face. All because I had to scratch my dang cheek. Unpaid plug. Well, clearly, if more people support me on Patreon, then I'll be able to buy more flags. Except, I don't really need many more, but the option is there. Anyway. Like, I'm never a fan of boss music in general. Like, well, that's not true. Like, boss music in general tends to be rather grating on the ears after a while, and yet I've somehow tuned this out, because it's the Super Mario 64 boss music, and yet here we are. You die now, you die now, you die now, thank you. More like unpaid butt plug, except there are no butt plugs involved. This isn't a Vangler's Infinite Conflict. I know nothing of the cinematic universe. Although, fun fact, so I have an accidental DVD collection, and it now no longer fits on my shelf, there are so many DVDs in it. So, make of that what you will. Now, in this room I will need Hoot Shoot, Hook Shook, and Great Fairy Mask. Pop that on, and slather a hot buttery load below. Which side is the thing in? There is a pot in the current. See, I feel like the name should have given it away. That, you know, Hollandaise is probably French, but like, it says it's Hollandish though, and Holland is in the Netherlands. That was my reasoning. And that's the end of that thought. Now, I don't think there's anything of value in those chests, so I'll just whip out that, and I guess appease the bunny hood, because we're going to need it in this next room. Like, both of the mini-bosses in this dungeon are just arse. Because, as we established across the last 2 streams, possibly just in the previous one, the wart is just a terrible enemy that should not be given a piece. And then there's the mad jelly, which we're about to come up against, and I don't like... Also, I forgot we needed fire arrows to get in here. But nevertheless, he's gonna push the button. Ah, why am I having one of my random bouts of the outside of my nose itches? Why does this happen on streams and only on stream? Well, hey, we're able to do Dongero after this. All the things I would much prefer to do instead of fucking swamp archery just to get that fucking boss key. And here's the unfun part of this boss. Like, it's not even that difficult. It's just a bit of an ass nuisance. And you have to wait for it to be, like, sufficiently high enough up, otherwise it does that. And I don't think I've ever actually had Hollandaise sauce, but I'm just going to assume I wouldn't like it. Because, like, I have a bit in common with Niels, at the very least, in that there are a lot of things that I don't enjoy food-wise, and yet, apparently, as a baby, I'd eat basically anything. So, you can imagine my parents' horror when I discovered taste. Also, saying it like that out of context makes the Dutch sauce sound like a euphemism for, like, a really specific kind of semen. So, in that sense, actually, I have nothing to add to the conversation. That is my limit of useful things I can say.
My entire nose.
Anyway, Banjolele, and by that I mean Don Gero. Gero. So at some point I need to go back into Woodfall Temple and sort out the frog in there. Frog. Oh no, well that's a reference to it, I just know it's a reference. Give me the piece. And there's the all-night mask. Huh. Well, maybe you shouldn't try before you judge. Gah. Ever considered that way around? But yes, I have immense concerns about the beavers now. Which is just my daily life. Everyone gets to pain.
Oh, why is my nose?
Why is my nose, mind you? That's nothing. This is probably also nothing. And this is nothing too, because I'm fairly sure there aren't any stray fairies in here apart from the harf. I feel like... Okay. I feel like pizza is one of those things that shouldn't be messed with like that. Because I once had a pizza... Well, I think it was twice. Once when I realised I didn't like it, and then once a second time because we bought it again by mistake. But I once had pizza that had creme fraiche instead of... It was either instead of cheese or instead of tomato sauce, and either way it was fucking nasty. Or, to quote that one, like, screenshot, why do chips get stale? Ew. I was just eating a bag of chips, and it was nasty. Fog don't care. And there's nothing for us in... no, there is something in there, because there's the spoodle wheel. I forgot about the spoodle wheel. But we don't need to bother with the mini-boss in here, partly because we don't have the key for it anyway, although we can get it easily enough. But the main diddly-diddly-dealio is, there's a wheel in the middle of here we need to... Well, it's more of a valve. Girl, that's a booty hole! Not a hole, Keisha. A valve. And... Right, I am a man of pepperoni. Just give me all of the pepperoni, and don't bother with anything else. Well, obviously, the sauce and, you know, mozzarella. It has to be mozzarella. But beyond that, like, I'll quite happily engage in the meme debates. Like, if someone says pineapple doesn't belong on pizza, then I'll agree with them. But I actually don't have any strong opinions about it either way. Like, put it on if you want. I'll eat it. Or don't. I'll probably still eat it. But yeah, like, ham, I can tolerate on pizza, but, like, I don't like ham in general. Jalapenos, they can work, but as long as you just don't overdo it, because I have had a pizza before where, like, they were trying to go for, like, tastefully spicy, and they just massively overdid it, and, like, literally all you could taste was jalapeno, and it just kind of ruined it. Mushrooms, I don't like mushrooms anyway, so there's that. What other options are there? I don't put fish on pizza, just ever. Like, I keep forgetting that that's a thing that real people do. Because, like, in Steven Universe, there's the, there's fish stew pizza, and I keep forgetting that fish pizza is actually a thing. I keep thinking, oh, that's just some, like, fantastical joke food item. Like, no, it's people put anchovies on pizza, that's a thing. And, like, why? What I really don't get, though, and this is something that's haunted me for years, is that, yeah, like, tuna is fine by itself, but just not on pizza. When I was studying German in high school, like, specifically in high school, because I did it in college as well, but when I was in high school, there was, like, it was, I think, one of the GCSE years. Like, it was fairly early on, but, like, in one of the years where the exam at the end actually counted for something instead of just being a test. And I remember the teacher saying, right, when they ask you to write about food, don't just say pizza und pommes, because that's too easy, that's not creative enough, and also no one actually eats pizza with chips. And then the whole class erupts like, yeah, we do, what the fuck? And I'm like, no, I'm on the teacher's side here. Who the fuck puts that many carbs in one plate? Like, I don't even care about tracking carbohydrates and shit, but you don't have pizza and chips. They don't go together at all. what the fuck? That being said, the German pronunciation of pizza is adorable, and the German word for kebab is also adorable, because it's like, it's so close to the Turkish, or at least my understanding of the Turkish, because döner. Ah! My nose is itching like crazy. Like it's the outside bridge of my nose. And I know I keep going on about this, but like, it's annoying me, because why would it be this bad? Also, 2.5 hours. What the flarf? Also, one thing I should be grateful for, I suppose, is, like, in this and the previous seed, chips on pizza. Oh, fuck out the door. Why? I and the other, like, in this stream and the previous seed that I did off camera, and also, basically everyone that I've seen who's done this, like, this randomizer, have all been really lucky and got the hookshot really early on. But then again, I know how much you can do in this game without the hookshot, but then again, you can basically do half of it without the hookshot, because that's how you do it normally. So, I'm a boy of some education. Also, this is just so strange, if you think about it, because, like, we took a break from doing one dungeon to go and do another dungeon instead. And here we are. Anyway, it's time for the temple to do the flip-flop, flippity-flop, ba-zoop-be-doop-boo, where we make the washing machine spin the other way. Now, I did once have, Swedish-style pizza, and that's not really a thing. Like, I didn't have banana on pizza. Like, I would not entertain the proposition of that. But I went to, like, a Swedish, like, just, like, fast food, like, independent takeaway place at some point outside Gothenburg. I think the place has been shut down now, which is kind of sad. And that was weirdly good. Like, I'd rank that in, like, the top 3 styles of pizza I've ever had. Like, obviously, Italian in Italy is the best. Flame cake. Yeah, because I've been to Italy and had pizza in Italy, and that was good. And I've had Italian-style pizza at, like... Well, there's an Italian restaurant near where I live that's run by actual Italian people. And there's also... Like, there's a chain. Like, a chain store that's, like... I think it's more just... They do pizza in the Italian style, but it's not as authentic, I guess. And those are both very good. And then... Like, there's a frozen food supermarket chain over here called Iceland. You know, well, we pronounce Iceland like the country, but just to distinguish it. And they do, like, just frozen pizza that is just, like, it's garbage, but it's good. Like, it's not bad. Well, it's not any more bad for you than any other type of pizza, really. And yeah, it's just it's good. This is fine. And let's see, the bottom door leads us straight to the boss room, which we could do now, but no, we can't do that now because we need to turn the green pipe on. Okay, that was accidentally correct. But yeah, just... Because in English, like, we at least refer to, like, the full name for what you'd call döner is... Well, we do call them doner kebab, but like, I don't know how this applies to other languages, but certainly in our case, döner... Like, doner, well, we pronounce it doner, but it specifically refers to the meat. So we, like, refer to it as don meat. And I guess maybe that's where it comes from then, the spinning aspect, the rotating meat. Now, I know I've talked about this before, because this is something that's come up in conversation with Europe Scalo 8, but, like, I don't know if you have them in other countries. You probably would. But those, bread toasting machines where it's like, wow, fuck the fuck off, this is so rude. Climb up, please, Link, it's about to melt. Link, you're a fucking idiot and you need to die accordingly. You need to die of BTs. Right, I've completely forgotten what I was saying now. Oh yeah, okay, so there's these toasting machines, and, like, you put them, Like, you put bread on them, and it sort of goes on a journey underneath some grills, and then it comes out the other side toasted. And I don't know if we have a word for that. And I remember talking to Laura and, like, discussing, so what do we call that then? Is it a rotisserie toaster or a roller toaster? Because, like, one's classy, but the other's punny. Yeah, we took a break from Stone Tower to go and do Great Bay. So, we took a break from one temple to go and do another. Which is just epic lols, am I right? But yeah, we've got basically all the stray fairies apart from the ones in this dungeon, and there is literally no reason to get stray fairies in this randomizer apart from the Stone Tower ones, because Stone Tower ones give you an item, but the rest of them don't. Like, everything else isn't shuffled into the randomizer. So, right. Random bit of trivia that everyone knows, but somehow nobody knows at the same time. In the original Japanese version of Majora's Mask, this room you had to manually, like, eyeball when to stop the machine and stop it manually, and that's not fun. Now, I know I can do this. I've done this. I did this on my practice run. Sadness. This is why we save state children. We save state children. And now I'm sad because I don't know if we can reach from down here. Can we reach? Is everything going to be sad? It helps if you jump. Maybe I could climb up as a big boy. Or at least backflip as a big boy. Oh, no, we could just climb as a big boy. Everything is once again fine with the world. Link, please. I'm trying to scratch my nose and have a fantastic time. Boats and hoes and scratch my nose. Ooh, as they say, woo. That's 10. That sure is a number that you can count to. That's my official Yelp review of the number 10. It sure is a number you can count to. Kinda what's the point in that platform over to the left? Turkey on pizza. I'm sort of, like, 60-40 on, like, having chicken on pizza, and turkey's, like, just chicken to electric boogaloo, so... well, you'll know. Just hippity-hop back and forth. Pound down. Except you can go either way in here, which I didn't realise in my practice run. I thought you had to weigh this particular sauce down, but you don't. Well done, Link, you missed. There we go. Give me the sauce. All of this for double defense that we're not even going to need. Well, we might. We've seen how quote-unquote good I can play. That was the sound of me scratching my face again. I saw I will just completely end up lacerating my face by the end of the stream. Funny story. I mentioned this like much earlier on, but I had a shower earlier today, and whenever I take a shower, I also shave. That's when I shave my face now. And I managed to cut my tongue whilst shaving. Which is absolutely fucking stupid, I recognise. And yet I managed it, because here I am. Anyway. If I had to guess, I'd say it's probably a coincidence that the country and the animal are the same thing. Yeah. It was like, why is Iceland called Iceland? Except we have an origin story for that, so never mind. But I mean, the Turkish name for turkey kind of sounds like turkey, so that's probably, like, it probably entered English as a loan word, so... And then, as for the animal, maybe we first got them from Turkey, is my best guess? Now, the real question is, why do llamas share their name with the Spanish word for flame? Again, I think it's a total coincidence. As a qualified linguist.
Turkey.
Yes, I've been to Turkey exactly once. It was hot, but it was okay. But they kept taking us to see, like, historic sites, and, like, no offense, but I kind of didn't care. Now, 3 more fairies. Where did I leave the... That's... Okay, I was thinking, what is that room on the left? That's just the Wart mini-boss room. Now, there's 2 stray fairies in... I feel like I'm missing one. It's weird how, like, I have and haven't heard fire alpaca. Like, I have and haven't heard of fire alpaca at the same time. Anyway, I feel like I'm forgetting one of the stray fairies, and for the life of me, I cannot remember where it is, because it shouldn't be in this next room. I believe I know where this next room connects to, and it doesn't... Also, I agree, Turkish tea is good. Like, it's the only country that I've been to where the local tea can actually hold a candle to British tea. And admittedly, we do serve it differently, but, you know. Like most other countries, you order tea, you get some kind of herbal tea, and don't get me wrong, herbal tea is good. But, like, one time when I was in Sweden, I ordered, well, the closest thing I could come up with to order was white tea, because in British parlance, like, green tea is herbal tea. Black tea is tea without milk, and white tea is tea with milk. But apparently in Sweden, white tea is a different kind of herbal tea, which I guess I see the logic, but, you know, the only country that I've been to where I've had tea that was, like, on par with my expectations was Turkey. But I would imagine because they do tea in Azerbaijan as well, they probably also do it well, so, you know, we'll see. Also, I just remembered that this is absolutely not how you get up here, and yet, like, the number of times I've fallen for this fucking room. God, I am a Plarpent Dugus, which sounds like an enemy from Pikmin. I love the enemy logic of, oh, he just put on a mask and now he's completely gone. The thing I'm chasing no longer exists. Better de-aggro. Like Danny DeVito, but Johnny de-aggro. But yes, where the flower is that final stray fairy? Because I know there are 2 in the next room we're going to. Well, not the next room, but... Okay, it's definitely not in here. Did I forget? I forgot one in here? Really? Am I a derp? Link, I did not tell you to dive! Your judgment of when to dive is severely flawed. It's a good thing that I remembered to check with a mask and, like, check the totals, because I know that the boss, well, the room before the boss definitely has 2 stray fairies in it. Yeah, I just completely forgot this fairy existed. Good. I'm responsible. Now let me pause, please. Thank you. And I'm so glad that we have the infinite magic going on, because it's so much, like, Georg as a fight just sucks anyway, but at least now we have the means of cheesing it. We can seize the means of cheese production. And before we even do anything in this room, pop Squandle and Lock Droppy over to this area, and then fire some projectiles into the beverage. One shot, don't even worry about it. And Great Fairy Mask, which for some reason you can't put a mask on when you're underwater. Logic. Ah yes, 2 minutes to get to the surface that's there. Can't even put a mask on when you're on the surface of the water. Cafe, you disappoint me. And there's that one, and there's this one in here. Can we please? Can we please? Self-imposed challenge run. Pop the bubble. I say pop the bubble before the other fairy gets here, but like that's not going to happen. It's not worth the stress. Keyboard controls. They're the best thing to happen to bees. They're both stuck now. Oh my god, you children! There we go. That did not have to be that degree of hassle. And then final step in the puzzle that is this temple. We turn the final valve, and the water flows through all the pipes, just to make this one spout turn on, just to be one platform. A problem easily resolved just by, you know, if Pierre the Scarecrow could be bothered to turn up over here. But here we am, our Izura Kamakura, Yas Queen. Put the face on, and squandle accordingly. And also, while I remember... And... I mean... Maybe it's a bit presumptuous of me to mark that off on the tracker right away, but I mean, we're about to. Also, the thought occurs that once I get Twin Mold's remains, we can just go and do the moon, and then that'll be the end of the series. Huh. Well, that was unexpected. And also, I've made the necessary arrangements, and tomorrow I will be recording even more of that super secret collab project that I'm going to commence uploading in the very relatively near future. So look forward to that. I'll be recording more of it.
Georg, I am not fond of you.
But admittedly, this boss is so much harder when you go into it blind. Okay, don't let me do anything then. Like, jump into the water, immediately get eaten. Why is it not letting me... There we go. It was not letting me shield for some reason. All I was getting was the you can't do that noise, which, like, how dare you? Excused? I'll have to fly in from the side. You know, water fly. Swim. And I'm just going to be this blue butt plug speveling around the wetness. Don't mind me, I can't see. Excuse you, I was around town. I don't think Junko would make a good Eurofan, but she'd make a typical Eurofan. Because Eurovision is full of inevitable despair. Oh, come on, stop eatling me. It's not rude. Like, I could just do what you're supposed to do with this boss and, like, stand off to one side and shoot him with arrows, but... This is quicker when it lets it be. When it lets it be. I dislike this. I feel like I put that on the Discord server, like, when it was first chosen. Despair Monsegra. Okay, that should not be physically possible because it would have to have phased through the platform to get behind me. Well, also, why all of the armor noises? You're supposed to be taking damage from this, you fuck. Can you please take some damage? Like, I'm not even that fussed about the damage I've taken because I know I have a fairy. And specifically take up a... Like, go on to Duolingo, just specifically to learn how to spread despair in Iceland. There we go, we've just seen a Zora drown. But we have a fairy, so I don't care. A cassowary is an animal. Maybe dive when I tell you to. Take damage, please. Take damage, please. Take damage, please. Okay, that did not make sense. I was up beside the creature. You can't just decide that I've taken damage because I was beside the creature. Also, it's not my fault I'm doing badly. I can't see because of the consumption. Fuck a nugget on toast. Nuggets on toast. There we go. That was dumb and a bad performance on my part, but here we are. Ervending Munsigra. Doesn't quite have the same ring to it. Or maybe it would if that's where we'd started. Poo hoo hoo. Just especially buff Monokuma. And of course, it would heal me up to just below full. I don't enjoy that boss. Now, what next am I doing? I'm going to need to go and deposit the stray fairies. And there isn't something on the tracker for that. Oh! Okay. Sure, fine. Like, in my previous seed, the Great Fairy Sword, I got it really early on for something really mundane. I don't even remember what it was. And in this one, we had to beat a fish. Now, to the most annoying fairy fountain to get to in the whole damn busting game. I swear you never used to be able to go this way without it zoning you out. This is fun to look at. Doctor Who theme intensifies. This is how you have to travel in the 3DS version. Who thought that was a good idea? Now, I guess, technically, I could just spam ice arrows to get to the distant palm tree, but as we've seen, those fucking fish can fuck on land, and that's unpleasante. Unpleasante's Inferno. Next up on the world's most useless Scarecrow song spots. Unless there's a deeper implication to it that I'm not aware of. Like the implication that Deku nuts are coconuts. Which they ain't. I mean, when was the last time someone threw coconut at you and you went blind? Now, can I reach from Hizity here? Surprisingly, yes. I could swear I've tried that before and I needed to ice arrow to one of those platforms. Ooh, nearly didn't make it, but here I am. And to prove it, I'm here. Which is all well and good, but we still need to go and do the fuckety swamp archery, and we know how this game's controls are with archery. Give me the prize. Also, we still don't have the mirror shield. So at this point, it's either the Giant's Mask chest or the Twin Mold chest. Or something in the Couple's Mask side quest, or whatever the Postman's Hat gives me. That was an attractive noise. Oh, something else that I should have mentioned ages ago, and I'm only thinking to think of now. Is in the 3DS version, they swapped around the, They swapped the colours of the stray fairies in Woodfall and Snowhead. Good. And I think they swapped around what the fairies do as well. So Woodfall gives you the double magic instead, and Snowhead gives you the sword upgrade, I think? Something like that, anyway. Now, first of all, I'm gonna pop into town and check the post box for the postman's hat, because that's a thing I can do. I'm thinking, what else is there I can... I feel like there's something else time-sensitive that I need to do. I think... Oh yeah, there's Dongero. Because what I was thinking is, I kind of want to do the all-night mask quest thing now, just because I can, and I definitely don't want to, like... I don't want to undo my progress in Stone Tower, so I guess that's going to have to go on the back burner for the moment. That's disappointing. Yeah, I might as well just go on foot. I might as well just Varada Varahi. Well, nevertheless, I'm having a fun time, and I'm hoping that y'all watching are as well. And while I'm running, I'll check my phone like a professional streamer. Huh. I've got an email and an undefined notification. It always gets so lonely, like, this far into the stream, where, like, at the start, there are loads of people watching and, like, people tagging in and out, and we're all having, like, fun conversations and fanty times. That's a word. And then, like, we get to, like, this point, and there's, like, 1 or 2 people in the chat, or fewer, and then by the end, it's basically just Lucas and me. Might as well preemptively set the sensitivity down to 40%, because keyboard controls don't do analog. I haven't done this in ages, so I'm out of practice, but I know where the PPPP are. This isn't so bad. Huh. I'm doing well so far. Just stab the birds, and there's the secret one off to the left.
Birds! Birds! As far as the eye could see! I missed a bird. I'm sad. Stab the bird.
And just as long as I hit all the targets, I should be okay for the prize. Assuming it doesn't give me the fucking piece of heart, which I do not want. Okay, that wasn't good enough for anything. So I have to hit all of the targets.
Birds? Birds? Where are the birds coming from?
Well, that went badly. Again with the excessive sound effects. Do even worse the second time.
Bird, please! Get out of my swamp!
Okay, that was actually a disturbingly good one. Summon Dickens! Dickens the wolf. Dicking the wolf, because peak furry trash. Can we please have the fun times? Just machine gun bow. Like that one bit of trivia from Pokemon where the Japanese name for bullet seed is seed machine gun.
Keyboard, must you betray me so?
So fun fact, I actually don't know what the target score is for the piece of heart here. I just may have to hit everything. Yeah. Not a big fan of the motorcycle, to be honest. Like, it sure does exist. And that's kind of it. Okay, that was a good round. Had no business being, but here we are.
Hit the birds! There is no time! Fucking mountain, you got in my way!
I was doing so well, and you were like, no, I'm a fucking mountain. Oops, I'm the pumpkin. Spam arrows, sparrows for short, they're a type of bird. Oh sure, just come bum-fundling in from the left, even though the audio's coming in through my right ear. That's fair and sense logical. What, you piece of shit! Like, I paused before, I did stop playing, but I'm peeved at this. Like, I'm not playing it the intended way by any means, but I'm annoyed. I'm the Pizza Hut, is it Pizza Hut or Domino's, whichever one had the Noid, that is currently my state of being. This is probably really annoying to watch. Like, I thought we'd left all of the annoying ass archery behind, and yet here the fuck we still are.
Hit them before they spread. Hit them before they spread like a deadly bird disease.
Oh, they're just gonna sit down and not react at all. I will get the... I will be given the score I deserve. I will become the Muffin Man.
These fucking birds, I swear to
Jared Leto. Just miss every fucking shot. Of course, there would be one fucking more.
Ah, thank you.
I was so worried it was going to give me the wrong reward, and it didn't. So now we can go and finish Stone Tower. That was... Okay, that was fucking awful. Let's not mince words. But it wasn't as bad as it could have been.
Oh, I am never doing that again in my life.
Or so I hope. Also, I feel like Stone Tower Compass just wasn't marked on the... was marked on the tracker, I just didn't think it was. Still don't have the couple's mask. I wonder if that's foreshadowing. Just that's where my eyes happened to alight when I looked at the tracker just now. I want to check my notifications, and I'm streaming, so I shouldn't... Oh. I see. Well, I got a brief glimpse at one of my notifications, and it was intradusting. So, yeah, all I need to do is flip the temple and then get to the end of the temple. But, yeah, I was going to mention on the topic earlier, that, like, Termina as an area is just really futuristic compared to, that was the wrong button. Compared to, Hyrule. Because, like... I remember seeing a theory about that online, like, years and years ago, where they're like, hey, Great Bay Temple is really futuristic and machiney and sciencey, therefore, Termina is, futuristic, and, like, it makes sense, because they've got clocks. But yes, advanced technomology. Technomology. Also, they have towers that can do this, and despite rotating, they flip. Which makes zero sense, but here we are anyway. Oh, also, I still don't have the mirror shield. And I'm going to kind of need that. Oh, and then there's the Dongero thing, which will need to eat some children. And by that I mean, we'll need to thaw out the mountains by beating God again. And we'll need to, go into Woodfall Temple and get the fish. And by that I mean just get the frog. I know that's a reference to something, but I don't know what it is. So just frog. And lucky for me, I could just barrel straight through because we don't need no constipation. And by that I mean, there's one key that I haven't used, and that's the one that we would otherwise get from the Goron race, because that's where it is. And I'm like, no thanks. Can we please? Kind of need arrows in order to beat this fucker. Oh good, that actually worked. And it only took 2 arrows. Well, 4 if you count the ones to stun them. But, I mean, it's magic. Let's not plug butts. Okay, so in my original randomizer seed, this is where the bow was. You cannot get here without the bow, but this is where it had put the bow. And bear in mind, in that particular seed, the large quiver and largest quiver weren't considered in the logic. Like, they were... Or rather, they weren't, like, they weren't in the randomizer, they were still in the, like, in the archery minigames. But it doesn't let you play the archery games unless you already have a bow. So you have literally no way of using... Like, I was able to obtain all the elemental arrows, but just not the bow. And... there was no way of getting a bow of any kind because it was in that chest back there, which you need to shoot a light arrow in order to access in the first place. So, that was dumb. Now, I should have grabbed a fairy on my way here, and I didn't because I'm a possessed pottery. Please? No? Okay, everything is sad. Clearly, like, headcanon out of nowhere. Zelda and Minecraft take place in the same universe, and the Sheikah are just really fucking good with redstone. Because, I mean, have you seen the shit people can do with redstone in Minecraft? Like, I recommend Mumbo Jumbo. Really good channel. I've been following him for years now, because he did a really good tutorial about how to make, like, a flush piston door at some point, and, well, he does a lot of those, but I mean, like, a really basic one, and I've been following ever since, because he does like, he's almost like, maybe not the Mythbusters of redstone, but, like, I don't know. Redstone is crazy, and he's a fellow Brit, and he's out there, and he's the sheriff. Watch me swose right in. Swose, swose. Large boy. A heckin' chonker. Oh lord, he coming. I only recently learned that you can attack these guys in the face as well. Like, I think I knew it ages ago, and I forgot because, like, why would you attack anything other than their tail? Because their tail is clearly demarcated as a thing you can strike. Attack the weak point for massive damage. Also, something I found the hard way, but luckily I was using save states, is that if you walk off into the desert here, you just zone out and end up back at the start of the temple, which makes zero sense, and is kind of annoying because these guys just kind of wander around wherever they want, and it's so easy for them to lead you out of the arena, and, like, that's not fair when the arena can zone you out, which then re-heals them back to full when you come back to the boss pit. Also, I love how, like, in order to simulate the sound of giant footsteps, the sound effect for when Link walks when wearing the Giant's Mask is just the sound that the clock makes when it ticks in this game. I swear this is the only game where a clock ticking makes for even vaguely appropriate walking noises. Also, this is an unexpectedly big moment for me, because as a child, or, well, whenever I've played this game before, I've always beaten the red one first. And, like, not deliberately, but just that's coincidentally how it always ended up being. And when I first beat this dungeon as a child, I thought that that when you get Twin Mold's remains at the end of it, I thought that changed colour depending on which one you killed second. So, like, it's red if you beat the red one second and blue if you beat the blue one second, because I beat the blue one second as a youth, and the remains kind of looked bluish to me, and I guess they don't anymore. So, I was a damned fool. But yeah, so I haven't watched much of Green's stuff, but I feel like I would probably like it, but I just never bother. And Hermitcraft is like the one thing of Mumbo's that I don't watch. So, you know, exactly the opposite of you. And you know what? Let's not talk about shrine puzzles, because fuck wild breathing. Breath of the garlic. But yeah, because the model of the remains looks blue here, I thought it changed depending on your bees. Anyway. I love how the music here is just casually burp. You know, just casually burp. Right. My mind brain has gone totally blank, but then I looked at the tracker and remembered something, so since we're here, might as well just blast through all of these because we're done with those. Technically, well, I'll leave that until I'm done with the side quest. I don't enjoy Breath of the Wild. And then just dead silence. But yeah, as someone on the internet has pointed out, some of the shrines, like, diegetically, are badly designed just on the simple basis that, like, there's one that's out in the desert somewhere, and the whole thing is there's a Gerudo lady who's, like, collapsed on top of it and refuses to budge unless you get her a drink or something like that. And the, oh, there's this as well. I don't want to do that. I'll come back to it later. But yeah, like, the monk on the inside is like, haha, you solved my puzzle. And Link would be within his rights to be like, there was no puzzle, you just didn't build one, there was just a lady coincidentally collapsed on your shrine. And he's like, yes, as I knew. You've been in here for 100 years, or however, I don't know, they just picked numbers at random for that fucking game. You've been in here for years, how did you know? I just did, because I'm a monk. You didn't know, did you? You were just too lazy to make a puzzle. And that's the noise the monks make. And credit where it's due, it was a nice touch that you have to fight a boss in order to get the motorbike, and that boss is a monk, but just big. Spoilers, but at the same time I don't give a fuck because it's Breath of the Wild, and Breath of the Wild is trash! And I stand by this statement. So, you know, fight a pillow on Christmas morning yesterday. It was Friday the 13th, the night before Halloween. Now, am I sufficiently out of viewing range? Crunch. I like how crunchy it sounds when you put on the masks. And I do think that, like, when you put, like, the animations for putting the masks on, when you let them play in full, the Goron one is far and away the ugliest / scariest. Whereas, like, the Deku one looks sad, and the Zora one is just painful, but the Goron one is... Like, also, the fact that Link screams whenever he puts on a mask, first of all, not good for stealth segments like these, but also, it must be so painful for him to constantly be shapeshifting. And that's the only one that's, like, off the top of my head. There are, like, there's other puzzles like that, too, where, like, the whole thing is outside of the shrine, and, like, they couldn't be bothered making a physics puzzle. And, there's that one where there's the two mountains, and, like, there's two shrines, one on each mountain, and, like, the puzzle is, in one shrine you see a puzzle and the solution to the other puzzle, and you have to go to the other one to put the solution from the first shrine in and get the solution for the... Like, what if one of those two monks just decided to be a dick and just either calibrated it so the answer to their puzzle didn't match up with the answer provided by the other shrine, or, like, you know, something like that. You know, there's too much hurgledy-bargledy. And that's just the end of that train of thought. I guess I should probably do the fucking Jumpminster game, and I don't want to, but at least it's not bad, it's just... I don't want to do it, but I could do it if I so chose. Don't need that, because that's the mountain title deed, and we're done with the title deeds. I mean, that's not entirely true. It could be that there's something useful on the other side of the ocean title deed, but... Like, See, that makes a lot of sense, Lucas. And also, because the people are dead, I guess that might have some bearing too, but... Yeah, I feel I understand. Also, it's like... it's late in the day. I forget when the hours are for this guy's minigame. Also, I just realized 202 rupees. 202 jewelry! That was obnoxious. I'll save state here just in case, because I know this guy has fucky hours, but I forget what those hours are. Also, it takes 70 years just to get to the fucking island. Beep, beep, long stocking. Boob. Doop doop. Beep beep. Well, fuck. Okay, there's also the small issue of the gold dust, and once again, only if absolutely necessary. Now, I guess I can... Right, we've got all the remains. once I get the mirror shield, I can go and do, Ikana Castle thing. There's nothing else in there apart from what used to be the Elegy of Emptiness. I can at least do the, all-night mask since we're here. I'm just thinking, is there anything else that I can do on this cycle that's, like, time-sensitive? Apart from, like, the obvious, because... And that's just the end of the song. And we can at least do the 2 hours one, because... like, we have time to spare, I guess. So the only other thing that I'm going to do in this cycle is deliver the special delivery. Hey, Vixie's back again, yay. What else can I do? The map of... yeah, now that we're done with Stone Tower Temple, you know. And that just healed me for some reason. So we'll come back to that at some point then. Let's see, the Anduin Cafe, which it's much too late to even start with that on this cycle. Oh, there's the beach minigame, which I kind of don't want to do. Now I'm having a mind blank. Is there something else I can do right now? Because... see, Ikana Castle can't really do without the mirror shield. There's the minigame... there's the minigame. Oh, I'm feeling dumb. Oh, fucking Dongaro. Doi. I knew there was something that was time-sensitive this cycle. Actually, since I'm here, I should probably get the one by the laundry pool first. Doi. But yeah, so... Woodfall Temple... and the... oh, well... It's funny you should say that, Vixie. In this randomizer, obviously, you can choose to play as Cafe, but you don't have to. But if you do, then it replaces Cafe's model with Link. So... if we, when we do the Anduin Cafe side quest, it's going to be the Anduin Link side quest as helped by Cafe, so it's going to be, like, all arse backwards and it'll be glorious. So, that's the thing to look forward to. But yeah, I think once I've done Don Gero and the special delivery, I guess then I can, I guess I could start a new cycle, deliver the, like, do the thing with Anju, basically, because... like, I remember as a child, the Anduin Cafe side quest seemed really daunting, and in hindsight, it's kind of not that bad. Hey, Elliot, good evening. How you doing? Another thing that always frustrated me as a youth, that there is no quick way through the swamp, because either you have to swim as regular Link, bounce as Deku Link, or try to swim as Zora Link, except, oops, he's too tall. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, as a child, the whole cafe quest seemed really daunting, but as an adult, it's like, it's actually not that bad. And yay, kittens. Well, yay, cats in general. Alright, next step, we go to Woodfall Temple, just specifically to fight the panda. And off the top of my head, I don't remember which room that is. That'd be the boss key room, which is... okay, I know where it is now. I never used to have a problem with the Don Gero quest, and suddenly I'm like... oh. Well... as a lion, my official catchphrase is mew. Because, you know, this is Animal Crossing. It's like that This Is America song, except instead of America, it's Animal Crossing. Oh, I was going to take that cutscene as an opportunity to check my notifications, because they've been sitting there taunting me all this time, and I'm just like, you know, And it would be so tempting just to take the boss warp, just to jump straight to the, Yep, that sure is Starburst. Yeah. Well, I currently have 2. We used to have others. Basically, there's been a lot of cat shifting in this household, but we are a house of cat people. So, also, like, I think I mentioned this earlier, but like, I'm still enchanted by it now. Earlier today, we saw a fox. Like, my mother and I were just out for a walk, and there was just a fox just kind of doing fox things on its way past. Like we sort of stopped and like we were like, hey, you're a fox, and the fox was like, yeah, I know, I'm a fox, and that was a lovely encounter. So, because like I don't think I've seen one in person, like ever, apart from one time I think last year where we just happened to be driving past somewhere and there was a fox just like running across like some grassy embankment, and like that was it. Which reminds me, a couple of weeks ago I saw a dead deer. It was just. I think it was on the central reservation of a dual carriageway, just kind of lying there being dead. And that was sad. Also, I saw a crow. It was a very polite bird. So, this has been Tess Encounters Various Animals. And here's the fun part, we get to fight a friend. You can hear foxes where I am, but you hardly ever see them. So, you know, exercise caution when viewing the moon. Thank you for finding the moon, but I wish you hadn't. Just explosion the self. Get tortled. Drop a bomb at random. Diego. Just Diego. Just spam all the buttons in vain attempts. And that's the thing as well. Because I grew up on the GameCube version of Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, I grew up with calling it L targeting before the Wind Waker happened, so it was completely normal to me. But then, like, people were like, oh no, you know, N64, it's Z targeting. Like, all the online, like, literature about it was like, oh, it's Z targeting. And I'm like, you can't target with the Z button. And, like, I was trying it on the GameCube, and on the GameCube, the Z button is a shortcut for whatever's on down C. So basically, the entire GameCube thing was just mapped to play as similarly to the Wind Waker as possible. And this was around the time that the Wind Waker was first being released, because it included a 20-minute playable demo. And I wasn't too fond of that. Like, I like the full game, I just wasn't a big fan of the demo. And also, actually, like, a while ago, I did actually buy the HD version of the Wind Waker, so that might be like a series at some point, but I'd rather do a randomizer of it, but I don't have any means of... Like, I can do N64 randomizers, and probably SNES ones, but I can't do GameCube or anything more recent than that. So, that's a shame, because it would be fun. But then again, it's yet another one of those games that requires, you know, analog precision, and I'm playing on a keyboard, so, you know, dips, dots, and diddly dumps and doodles. I am so full of vocal garbage. And now we must go and row, fight the goat. Now, there's a question, I suppose, for veterans of this game. Is it pronounced goat or got? Or like, got? Goat. Or... the grand old halitosis, but like... as the solution to a panic talk action from Danganronpa. Because halitosis is traditionally only one word. Ah yes, a magic refill that I so totally need at the moment with my infinite magic. Which I love that that's a legitimate thing in this game. Just, Hi, you can have infinite magic for fun. And why, thank you, game. You're a generous kind. A generous kind. Now take me to your butt plug. Hold on to your cream. Take me to your bench press when my nights are cold and lonely. See, I was talking to my mother about this fairly recently, and it continues to be true. There are some songs where my brain just auto-corrects. Like, I know the lyrics, just not well enough. Did that work? It did work. I knew you could do that. I didn't know how precise you had to be. But yeah, how many people have seen Goron Link get fucked in this cutscene? Or Deku or Zora, for that matter, because, like, usually the cutscene starts, like, right away, so you don't have a chance to put the mask on. But if you're frame perfect, you can smack a dingus before the camera even catches up, apparently. Now, I think, technically, this is one of the least... I think this is the, like, second worst way of fighting this boss. Like, the first worst is just, like, standing somewhere and, like, just shooting arrows whenever he walks past. Do an Ant-Man, drive up his bum. Well, that was excellent. Bum damage, bum damage, bum damage. I just punched a goat up the arse. What are you going to do about it? Demonetization, that's what they're going to do about it. Not that I monetize my streams anyway. Maybe I should, because I would probably... I probably get more watch time out of them, but only only not retrospectively. People watch them live more than they watch the VODs, which, I mean, that makes sense, because the whole appeal of a live stream is to watch it live. In fact, I think the only person who watches the VODs is me, because I like rewatching my stuff as a viewer. Like, everything that I do, like, on YouTube, I do watch back. And if it's something that I've made, then I'll watch it before setting it public to make sure that it's worth setting to public. But if it's a stream, then I'll just watch it back when I'm... Well, not immediately after I'm done, but, like, I'll put it in my watch later list so that I can go back to it at some later point and watch it, because I care about my stuff, and I entertain me. And if you can't entertain yourself, then, you know, what's to stop other people from not being... I know, there's a wholesome message about self-worth in here somewhere, and it's just... I'm subscribed to me because I make content that I'm interested in. This bus started so well. We're pulling a film reference, and now we're just sad. Not that there's a time limit here, because, like, literally the only benefit we could glean from this, apart from finishing the Dongero quest, is doing the Goron race to get the final Stone Tower key, and literally there's one door in Stone Tower that you don't need to open at any point, and we've beaten the entire temple, boss and all, without opening the optional door, so everything's fine. Oh, come on, surely one of those just has compensation. Compensation-sation. Condensation, BBC4. There we fucking go. Pile of meatballs. Okay, now here's a question that no one anything. So, I do it too, but, like, my father has this, like, idiolectic expression, I suppose. If something's a bit crap, it can be described as a pile of wank. And I say that too sometimes, just not very often. Is that a thing people say, or is it literally just something my father came up with? Because, like, I'm fine with either, it's just... Anyway, frog. And the prize is... diarrhea? 20 money. Huh. Well, there you go. Officially, it is an expression. Yay. Okay. The question is, what now? There's the minigame thing in Great Bay, which I kind of don't want to do. There's Anjo and Cafe, which we can't do, but we can do the special delivery thing, but not until the final hours. Like, at this point, everything is optional. I could just go and fight the final boss. But, like, I kind of want to at least get all the masks, because that, like, not necessarily every piece of heart, but definitely every mask, because... Oh, I just realized we can't do that. Okay. I have plans. Well, I don't have plans. I have half a plan. I've already forgotten what it was. So, equip that. We'll need that when the time comes. And what else? There's the... See, I'm thinking I should do the, fucking... island hopping minigame, just because it's such a hassle to open it. Because you have to beat Georg, and Georg isn't the best of times. And separately from that, there's the letter to Cathay from Anju as part of the Anju Cafe quest. There's the couple's mask, which is basically the only other thing. Like, I feel like I don't actually... Like, you don't actually have to do the pendant of, like... bearing in mind the randomizer, as long as I give Anju the pendant of memories, I feel like I don't actually have to do anything with Cathay. Like, I don't actually have to give, like, to meet up with him, and... Well, then again, maybe he won't trust me unless... Ugh. Maybe I will have to do the full fucking... Whatever. It's easily done. Also, okay, complete tangent, but there's an enemy in this game, and like there's the skeleton fish things, and there's like a bigger version of the skeleton fish things, and it's called a Desbreko, like Desbreko, and it sounds like it, like, just looking at it, it looks like it should be Debresco, and it just isn't. Oh. Now, he said mornings and evenings are his break. I did not realize that didn't include night times. In fact, you know what? If memory serves, it's actually easier at night time because you can see where it's lit. Ooh, there's... Good. There's, it's one of those things where usually the graphics are kind of fucky. Okay, that was terrible. It's because the angle is, like, not quite isometric. Stop Jobpeg Fadsalai! Oh yeah, that's one thing. In this randomizer, you can choose to be Majora's Mask Link, or Ocarina of Time Link, or like Cathay or Adult Link. And like Adult Link for Ocarina of Time has like slightly different physics, and Ocarina of Time Link doesn't do these stupid fucking flips! It's all because of the camera angle, I swear. Because like, this isn't that hard to do on console, but alas, I'm doing a randomizer. On console is not an option. Also, it... Good. Takes a moment to actually register where the things even are. Also, I was rather worried about that jump there for a second. I thought, did I save state in the middle of a jump that's going to throw me into the water? Bad. Bad. I'm so good at this game, can you tell? I guessed that I was right to do so. Got into a rhythm now. I mean, the camera is still fucking moving and it's terrible. Watch this be for, like, just another fucking piece of heart. Like, it could be a mask, though, because that's how the randomizer works. But fuck you, game. I hate this. did I mention I feel validated? For no particular... Well, no, because of the previous conversation about idiolects and personal lexicons. So, yum yum, I am a valid Victorian. And I think if you fall into the water even after you've got the high score, it counts as a fail, so... Yay, 23. I don't know, because that particular song is from Ocarina of Time, so... That was unexpected. Right. What now? 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 I can't do the last all-night mask thing because that's only on days 1 and 2. Can't do Anjou and Cafe until the next cycle. Can't do the special delivery just yet. I can't get whatever the couple's mask heart piece would be because that's, you know. I'm starting to feel as though this particular cycle is basically done with, and the next cycle is going to be the Anjou Cafe one. So there's that to look forward to, I guess, unless there's something really obvious that I'm forgetting to do. So, if anyone knows of something that I can do right now, apart from deliver the special delivery, you know, speak up, because I'm mashing buttons. I am grateful at least, though, that winning at the lottery shop in this game isn't a requirement for 100%. For no reason other than it's a bit tedious. God, I wish interest worked like this. You got money? Here's an insane bonus on that. Like, here's a mad percentage that makes no sense. Don't forget to check for poop. Because this is Danganronpa. Like, that somehow gives more explanatory context, except it kind of does. But yeah, is there any other things? Because Ikana Canyon's cleared out, we've done everything that's relevant up there apart from the ocean title deed. Great Bay we're completely done with apart from the beavers, which I don't want to have to fuck with. There's Woodfall, where there's nothing left to do there because the mushroom doesn't give us anything now that we have the Mask of Sense. And the remaining archery prizes, so that the archery game, we've done everything we need to do. And the archery minigame with either Kome or Kotake, that's done with. And then there's the Mountain Smithy, which we need gold dust for, which I'm not going to check unless it's an absolute last resort. So, I think we're good to just hand over the delivery and then commence the Link Cafe side quest. And that's what Korok Seeds are. Plus also it's like... It's weird, I've been streaming for like 3.5 hours, and yet it's nearly 12 midnight. Like, that doesn't line up with... Like, I started streaming earlier than normal, I swear. Well, I planned to at least, but then y'all were watching German TV, so I quite politely waited. Now, is the lady here now? Oh, she is. I have to wait until the final hours. And so as I pointed out last time, it's not good enough that we actually are her son. We need to put a mask on saying we know her son. Ba-na-na-na. And all of that for some fucking mum juice. Right, there's nothing else to update on the tracker, so... I could have done, but I didn't. So, what are you gonna do? Right. Nothing else to do in the final hours, so... To-do list on this final of cycles. Talk to talk to Anjou at, like... That is terrifying. But yeah, talk to Anjou at, like, first thing in the priority morning. except no, it has to be in the afternoon, so... What I should do is, just in case, go to Snowhead Temple, get the Moon's Tear, which is in Snowhead Temple, then trade that in with the guy who takes the Moon's Tear, because that gives us Letter to Cafe, put that in Letterbox, forget about it for the rest of the cycle. My elbow is still sore. Because I mentioned earlier on the stream, I managed to bash it. Ooh, it's bruised! It's like ever so... It's one of those really pale, kind of yellowish bruises. Yeah, I was demonstrating how a photo on Instagram had been cropped, and... like, to my mother, and... I ended up thwacking my elbow against the corner of the wall in so doing, and now my elbow is sad. Now, let's get us back up into the most tedious temple in the game to enter. Like, I don't mind, like, the pre-temple section of Stone Tower Temple, but at the same time, like, even if you, like, if you factor that in or not, there's a warp point at the top of the tower, so all you have to do is either press 3 buttons to cross the gorge, or if you know the trick, just press 1. For Great Bay Temple, there is literally a warp point right outside where you hookshot the palm tree. For Woodfall Temple, there's a warp point literally right next to the Deku Flower that allows you to fly across the gap. Snowhead Temple, you have to do this whole bullshit every time you want to get to the temple, and they didn't even fix it in the remake. Salt! Still, it's weirdly liberating to think this is the final... Wait, it's not really liberating though, is it? Because this is the final go-around, which means that after this stream, if all goes to plan, you know what? Having said all this, I could put the wheels into motion for the Andrew Cafe side quest, and then do that and be... Like, the more I'm thinking this to myself, the more I'm feeling like it's a good idea. I'm going to get the Moon's Tear, and I'm going to call it a stream, and then next week, I'll just do the Andrew Cafe side quest and the Moon, and then we'll be done. I don't have fucking fire arrows. Jolly good. Unless you're going to give me some in here? Please? I want to take a shortcut. Because I have fire but no arrows, much like in the previous seed. Except I have a bow this time. Whenever you're ready, Wolfos. There we go. Good, obedient doggy friend. Doggy fresh friendo. And with that, we peruse deeper. Let's dive twice. Now, is it this room or the other one? It's... Oh, it is this one. Oh, well then. Doctor, doctor, give me the sauce. And by the sauce, I mean the Moon's Tear. Take me to your butt plug, hold on to your cheese. And as I prepare for departure, I suppose I should be making the statement that I have been and will continue to be Tessellating Hexagons. And next week, probably a shorter stream than usual, because it'll... Well, I don't know. Because, like, the Andrew Cafe side quest doesn't take that long. But, like, I don't think I'm ready to start streaming a new game series. Like, I'm not ready to start a new game for a new stream series just yet. And I know at some point in the near future, I need to get back to Stardew Valley, and I do intend to. It's just, I want to take some time off to do some other games. So... At some point, when Heather starts existing again, of course, we'll be doing Ultra Despair Girls, which I know that's been asked about on the Discord server. Yeah. So next week, Andrew Cafe and the Moon and the final boss, hopefully with all the masks in tow, but no promises. But I'm kind of hoping so, just 'cause I want to be able to cheese the final boss with the fucking Fierce Deity mask. And with that, the stream abruptly ends. So, just one more save state to be completely safe. And then I'll save the updates to the tracker, because you need to save that manually. It doesn't do it automatically, which you would have thought it would, but it doesn't, but hey-ho. And that has been the will continue to be Tessellating Hexagons. I have 5 emails. Wow, people have been busy. So I'm just going to drop out of the Discord call, because I'm about to end. And thanks, y'all, for watching. We've had a really good time. The text chat has been orange this time. It was red for the past 2 times. It makes a nice change. And goodbye. Thank you for joining. And let's see, regular TessHex videos should resume in the near-ish future, and of course also on Monday of next week and the week after, you've got the last parts of my top 41 countdown, and I am really enjoying sharing that with people. So, I mean, we'll have to wait until we have a winner before it doesn't feel like we've been calling it the Basel light bulb for a year. Like, it was the Lisbon lampshade for a while, and like that felt like that was its forever name, and we only called it the Basel light bulb recently. But no, it's been a year. Oh, if things go the way that I sort of not begrudgingly, but like reluctantly expect them to, the Amsterdam shade, Lampsterdam. If they win. If they don't, so much the better, because unexpected item in the bagging area. But if the Netherlands win, it'll be Lampsterdam. You heard it here first. Anyway, thanks y'all for watching, and see you when next I am seen. I'll be hanging out on Discord for a while after this, and bees on the muffin, gravy on the meow. Okay, well, this was a stream. Thank you for joining. I keep outroing. I should go to bed, because it is 6 minutes past 12. Good night.